Well, it's already a very active night tonight, folks. Let me just click going live on there we go, on Instagram. Got to get that up. So, strong to severe storms are already moving into the area as we speak right now, and we're going to track them live. Hope you can join us, hang with us. It is Friday evening. It is hot. It is muggy. And now the storms are beginning to interact with that fuel that's overhead in the form of that humidity. That heat is really, really making things ugly out there. Take a look at that line of strong to severe storms. We currently have severe thunderstorm warnings. Let's show you where we have them right in here. Severe thunderstorm warning now. This would be Ottawa, Sandusky, Seneca, and Erie counties until 7:30 p.m. Radar indicated 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. We're not real worried about hail in this, but it's wind gusts that are the problem. We've already had reports of some serious wind damage in Gibsonburg, which is near Toledo, as these storms moved on through. Gibsonburg reporting numerous trees and power lines down. I'm also told by one of my storm chaser buddies that in Michigan, like 200,000 people have lost power from that severe line of thunderstorms that moved through there. Now, that line is moving into southern Ontario and moving over the western basin of Lake Erie, where it's beginning to show signs it's losing strength. Of course, farther south right here, we have those thunderstorms stretching from Marblehead. Let's zoom on in. Marblehead to Port Clinton, Bayview, Whiteman's Grove, Fremont, Clyde, York, Castalia, Sandusky. There they are right there. By the way, if you're joining me live, there's a lot of you here already. Make sure you type in comments and tell me where you're watching from. Ask any question. We'll try and get to you as quickly as we can. Jason, you're awesome. Let's see, Jeremy, we got some rain north of Greenville, but it sure cooled off. Heat index was 105 in Troy, Michigan. See, we have folks watching from Michigan right now. Since the rain came through, dropped to 92. All right. Yeah, there is relief there. There is. Audrey, how are you? So many of you here. Love it. Hi, Mark. Thanks for all you do. West Salem. Shar, great to have you here. All right. So any question you have, let's chat about this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this and we're going to take a look at what's going on. Boom, right there. Here's our current radar scan. As you can see, we've got severe thunderstorm warnings out in those yellow little, what do you call them? Polygons, we call them. Port Clinton, Catawba Island, Marblehead, now over Cedar Point. We got some very, very heavy rain, frequent lightning. There is Gibsonburg with that severe wind damage report. Multiple trees and power lines down around the village of Gibsonburg, and that was at 6:48 p.m. 6:48 p.m. There's Gibsonburg. So that storm has now moved over Bayview, Port Clinton into the Sandusky area. So the line is filled in. If I take you back a few scans, I'm going to widen it out, and we're going to show you the evolution of this line. Look at those severe storms in lower Michigan, first of all. And then they start to pop. Those storms start to pop around Bowling Green and Toledo. And now that line has explosively filled in. Now, Betsy Kling and I were chatting about this just over the last few minutes. Here's a couple of things to keep in mind, and I'll show you right here. Boom, 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 boom. I can zoom on in, and we can draw a little bit. Right here is a lake breeze. There's our lake breeze right in this area here. So any storms that try and bump into that lake breeze, they're going to find a lot less energy here. Notice the storms that we're trying to fire near Vermilion. Watch them right here. See all these storms here? Watch what happens to them. They fade out. They fade out fast because there's not as much energy here. The available energy to make these big severe thunderstorms is lacking behind this lake breeze boundary. So any of these storms here, they're already fading out. Look, they're already fading out as they approach that lake breeze. Now we got to see what's going to happen with these other storms that are over here in the islands area. All right. Marblehead. They should begin to weaken. Now, I'm also in touch with our friends over at the Guardians game. They want to know about, how soon this rain is going to reach them, what kind of severe weather impacts this potentially could have on the Guardians game right here. The good news there, once again, is the air over the lake is pretty stable compared to the air down here. So to be honest with you, I think a lot of these storms here toward Lima will slide on into Mansfield and Ashland, and they could become severe. They could still be strong. That's down around Route 224 and point south toward Route 30. Those could still be strong to severe during the next few hours. But these storms that are farther north, okay, right up in here. See these storms that are farther north? Right in here, as they meet the lake and they meet the stability of the lake. See my fingers? If you could see my toes, they are crossed as well. They should begin to weaken. Now, with that said, look, we've got some pretty good energy here, and that storm in Middlefield, right in this area here, southern Geauga County near Parkman, it's got a tag on it called a special weather statement tag. Okay, so we can click on that tag. Let's get rid of this. We'll click on that tag, special weather statement for 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts and very small hail. We'll read it for you here. You ready? Doppler radar tracking a strong thunderstorm near Garrettsville, 14 miles northeast of Ravenna. It's moving southeast at 15. Wind gusts to 50 miles per hour and pea-sized hail. Okay, 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts could down trees and power lines. And there's the storm right in here. All right, so Parkman, Nelson's Ledges, Southington, West Farmington. So it's going to move out of Geauga County into Trumbull County as it goes. We can check on the velocity and see what the wind speeds are doing. Then we have some pretty strong winds. Let's try and get a beat on those. I got a 35-mile-an-hour wind gust there, 31, 35-mile-per-hour wind gust there as well. Okay, so we got some gusty winds. Could they get up close to 50? Sure. But right now, there's 35 to 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts in that cell right here. All right, so we're going to widen out. Let's go back out. Let's go back to our thunderstorms here and find those strong winds. So, of course, look for those very bright green areas. Let's put a beat on these. We got a 48-mile-an-hour wind gust there, 50, moving toward Castalia. We've got a 51-mile-an-hour wind gust right in here, White's Landing. This is just south of the bay. Here's Bayview. And over the bay, you got 46-mile-an-hour wind gusts. I saw 48. All right, saw 46. Bayview, you're at 43. Sandusky, you're at 32, but we're going to check that cell there real quick. Some interesting things going on. Right in this area here, you got a 48. You're close to 50 miles per hour, okay? 50 miles per hour. I don't know who this Raul Perez is on the YouTube page, but he's speaking in a foreign language, and I'm not going to respond. So sorry about that. All right, I want to take a look over in here. Again, you got some pretty turbulent winds over around Sandusky, but it's moving out over the land. Right now, there are no rides going at Cedar Point, all across the island, Kelly's to Catawba to Rattlesnake to Johnson's. Marblehead, you got some heavy rain there and some very, very gusty winds. Bayview, heavy rain there. Let's see. Let's try and check for any type of hail if we could. All right, so right in here would be some hail where you see the red. All right, got a little tiny bit of hail there, okay? Tiny bit of hail there. But all of it primarily is heavy rain. It's all primarily heavy rain. Okay, let's get back to our reflectivity. There it is. Boom. We'll bring it on in. I'm going to play this for you so you can see the evolution of the storms. South of the lake breeze, we've got some storms trying to fire. East of town, down toward Akron, you're getting some storms to fire. And as I mentioned just a few minutes ago, that's the area where potentially you still could have some sustained strong thunderstorms this evening, because that's where the juice is. Really, really juicy air there. You can see the lake breeze right where my cursor is. There's the lake breeze. North of that lake breeze, the storms are having a real hard time. But we're going to watch these storms coming out of Sandusky. I do expect them to weaken, but they certainly could impact the Guardians game here in the next hour or so. So we're going to keep an eye. I'm hoping we can fade these out. I really, really am. All right, let's see what we got. Diane, you're very, very welcome. Glad to hear you. Tracy is here. How you doing? Willoughby. Again, we'll watch for some rain and thunderstorms this evening, but I think a lot of these are going to fade out. We need it in Orville too. Bring on the rain. Yes. Barbara's watching from Andover. Where else do we got? Sandra, thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Now, what you can do for me, we got hundreds of you on. What you need to do, you need to show the algorithm that you like these updates. So you need to like this feed that you're on. If you're not following me yet, please make sure you hit follow, like, and share, please. Please share this because it tells the algorithm that more and more people from Northern Ohio need to see this in their feed right now. So that's what we want. We want to get the word out to as many folks as we can. Canal Fulton. Right now, you've got some storms that are traveling. They're right over Akron now, and you've got a couple that are trying to develop around Worcester. That might get up close to Canal Fulton right in here. Watch those storms popping near Worcester, sliding north and east. So within the next hour, Canal Fulton, we'll keep an eye out for you, okay? So there's some storms firing here too. So we're showing you these storms firing. Boom, right there. You got a couple of cells there, one up near New Pittsburgh. Got a few little rain showers. West Salem traveling along that Interstate 71 corridor. Canton, you're dry. Just to the east side of Akron, Mogador. Just to the south of Talmadge, you got a nice little cell of heavy rain. Might be some thunder and lightning in that. No severe weather on that yet. You got this strong thunderstorm with 40-plus mile-an-hour winds trying to show a little hail here. Trying to show a little bit of hail here, okay? I'm going to say that's a three-body scatter spike coming out of the back here. Maybe there is some hail in this. Maybe we should check it. But it also comes in on the front side. So, okay, maybe a little false echo. All right, we got to wait for this to shift one more scan. The scan is now being processed, okay? Processed scan. Let's go back. Super reflectivity. Boom, there it is. So we have some storms popping. We really do. And we have our severe thunderstorm warnings out right here. This is, well, it's a mesoscale discussion. There's a 40% chance they're going to issue a severe thunderstorm watch box. And you will see that when it comes up live with me on the screen. You will see that, okay? You will see that live on your screen. Don't forget to ask any questions in the feed. We'll try and get to as many as we can. How's Louisville looking tonight? I'm heading to Hilton Head. Okay, you got a couple of isolated storms that'll rumble by. I think a lot of these cells that are to our west, as the sun goes down, they should lose some steam, okay? They should lose some steam. Look at how many of you are here with me. I appreciate it. So give me those hearts. Give me those thumbs up. Give me those likes, follows, and shares. It tells the algorithm we need to send this out to more and more folks to get the word out. And this is just what's happening right now, this line of severe thunderstorms. Remember, you have tomorrow. So tomorrow afternoon and evening, we might do this again. Do we know if we're going to or not? No. Because this atmosphere is in such disarray that it's next to impossible to tell what's going to happen 24 hours from now. It really is. Next to impossible. Next to impossible. Hold on, I got to respond. Okay, so we've got a marine warning. As you can see, we've got a new severe thunderstorm warning that just popped up right here. They're extending that severe thunderstorm warning. Right here, there's the extreme heat warning. Hold on, let's get rid of that. Come on, that just was issued right here. So let's bring it on up. I don't want the mesoscale discussion. I want the severe thunderstorm. There it is. Until 8:30, 60-mile-an-hour winds, radar indicated 3/4 inch or less hail in this. And again, this would be for, let's get rid of it. This would be for northern Lorain County, all of Erie County, the northwest section of Huron County. And of course, we got a little bit of Ottawa, Sandusky, and Seneca counties in there as well. That's a brand new severe thunderstorm warning until 8:30. Again, includes portions of Lorain, all for this area here. And again, we have a history of damage. Gibsonburg had some trees and power lines come down. All right. Trees and power lines come down. So these are capable. They've already shown that they can produce severe weather. And we can track the wind velocity. Here we go. Bring it on in. We'll zoom on in. We'll try and find those strong winds. And we can actually look for the strong winds. There's 43-mile-an-hour winds there. There's 45, 47. Actually, these wind speeds have come down a little bit. They've come down a little bit, which is good. Which is good. We want that trend of weakening. Weakening trend. There's some out over the lake, 47 miles per hour, just off the Cedar Point Peninsula there. Huron, your wind gusts are near 30. You got 45, 46 right here, just south of Sandusky, moving in to downtown Sandusky. Let me know, too, if you're in these areas now. Sandusky, let me know if you're getting any type of damage. Port Clinton, Marblehead. Let me know what you're seeing there. Once again, we'll go back to our reflectivity. We'll widen out our view, and we'll show you the progression of these severe thunderstorms over the past couple of hours. Big thunderstorms in Michigan. Those storms have faded as they've moved east over southern Ontario and over Lake Erie. Lake Erie is relatively stable compared to the rest of the region. Over land, you've got much more juice to work with. All right, so we're watching more thunderstorms trying to pop near Akron, near Worcester. They're having a hard time. They're what we call pulse thunderstorms. In other words, they pop up, they heavy rain, and then they fade away fast. We call them pulse. They pulse up, and then they fade. And a few more around them begin to pulse up, and they fade. If that's the trend here, then I'm not too concerned about severe weather because these aren't sustaining themselves. The only one that is this one right here, and there's no longer a tag on that for 50-mile-an-hour winds. There's no special weather statement on that anymore. That's a very interesting artifact coming out, a radar artifact. So that radar beam is going into the storm, kind of hitting something and bouncing back. That's why I was checking for hail. And right here in Southington, there could be some hail right there, okay? Watch this. There could be some hail. You see those pink areas there? See, there could be some hail. And right here, this little green stripe, that's a radar artifact. Again, it could be bouncing off something and then shooting back toward the radar like that. So we'll once again check for some hail. Do we see any hail in there? What do we see in here? Big raindrops, heavy rain, big raindrops, light to moderate rain. See, we can show you what's going on inside the thunderstorm, okay? We can show you what's going on inside the thunderstorm. I don't see hail in there. It's just super, super heavy rain. All right, back out. Boom, boom, boom. Here's our other thunderstorms. Again, I'm seeing these kind of fading out. I'm watching these storms here. I'm going to draw for you. These storms here. Ottawa to Findlay are staying strong. These storms here, I'm hoping that they fade out. Now, here's the Guardians game right here. And here's this line of storms right here. So we need to kind of see how soon these things get to the guards. See how soon they get to the game. Okay? So once again, let's get rid of this pen. Pop on that. So 60-mile-an-hour winds. I want to see how fast these are moving. Severe thunderstorms located along a line extending from 9 miles northeast of Sandusky to 7 miles south of Gibsonburg. 60-mile-an-hour wind gust radar indicated. Expect damage to trees and power lines. Okay. Moving east at 40. All right. So these are moving directly east at 40. All right. So let's try and we can do a little drawing for you, I think. I think we can do a little drawing for you. Let's try and put this one on here. Storm tracker. Boop. Let's drop that one there. Oh boy, sorry about that. That's out over the lake. So hold on. I got to get rid of that one. Let's get rid of that one. Let's try this one again. Storm tracker. Here's the leading edge of this thunderstorm. So here's what we want to do. This is moving east at 40 miles per hour. All right. So it's going to be moving this way, about 40 miles per hour. I'm tucking that back in here. All right. It's going about there. So here's our projection. I'm going to move that up. Lorraine, 7:53. North Ridgeville at 8:03. Lakewood at 8:17. And by my watch, it says 7:36. So downtown Cleveland, it's at 8:24. Let's hold that. Hope that holds true. Let's hope that holds true. We will see. Cleveland Heights at 8:33. And by the time it reaches Cleveland, I'm hoping it's a lot weaker. Hoping it's a lot weaker. All right. Well, we got to get rid of that one. Come on. Come on. Whoop. This is what I got to do. Trash. There it is. We want to trash. Let's do a little free drawing, okay? This way. It's moving east at about 40 miles per hour. This takes the whole line, gives us a little slightly better idea. All right. So again, Lorraine, 7:54, close to what we said before. 8:14, Elyria, Lakewood at 8:19, Cleveland at 8:25. That's right, what we said. Euclid at 8:33, Cleveland Heights at 8:34. Now, what are these storms going to look like by the time they reach Cleveland? The hope is that they fade out and fade away, at least diminish rapidly, okay? At least diminish rapidly. Okay, let's see what kind of comments we got. I'm going to move this around. We're going to show you the evolution here. Let's play. Let's play. Boom. All right, let's check on some questions and comments from you. Don't forget, we're live tracking Friday night severe thunderstorms. A couple of warnings for Lorain County, Erie County, Huron County, Ottawa, Sandusky, and Seneca counties until 8:30 and 7:38. So big storms have produced some wind damage, Now, a couple of other things to watch. That line of thunderstorms is probably going to produce its own little outflow boundary. And the concern here is we got a lake breeze, and now we got an outflow boundary approaching that lake breeze from the west, forming like this little T. We call it a triple point. Sometimes you get some pretty feisty thunderstorms that form along that triple point. All right, I'm gonna draw that for you here. The next scan, but I did promise I'd answer some questions. Let's get some comments. Let's see. So will Euclid Lakeshore get pummeled at 8:30? Well, I hope it fades away. Okay, I really do. Grafton is looking a little dark. Yeah, absolutely. You got some storms that are approaching from the west. Keep an eye out. Minerva, right now, Minerva's looking good. I don't see anything around you. We'll wait and see if anything develops to the west. We got a few storms trying to pop around Worcester to Akron now. They're trying to fill in and become a little line. Let's see if it works. I watch Channel 3 now. Yes, that's what we want to hear. Thank you very much. Wadsworth has fireworks tonight. Are we getting wet? Well, Wadsworth in southern Medina County. You got some storms to your south. I'm hoping these fade out before they reach you. And by the time fireworks go off, it's 10 o'clock. I think you're dry. I really do. I think you're dry. Okay? I think you're dry. This is expected to be bad in Cleveland. Well, let's hope it fades. And I do believe we're going to get some rain downtown. I really do. We'll have to wait and see. All those storms that have tried to form along the shoreline have faded out, and hopefully they're stealing some of the energy for these other storms coming in from the west. So we may see some of these storms begin to weaken on the northern edge of the line and then get stronger on the southern edge or refire south of that lake breeze boundary. I'm not able to upload the photo, but it was weird with no rain. Okay, Leslie. Interesting. I love all these people who are on the YouTube channel. MarkJweather on YouTube, MarkJweather on Instagram, MarkJweather on LinkedIn, MarkJweather on Facebook. Matt says we need the rain. We certainly do, Matt. We certainly do. Christopher, hey, dude, is this going to hit Mentor? You're probably going to get some rain, but I'm hoping it fades out. We're waiting and see. The wind is insane coming off the lake. Katie, where are you? Where are you watching from? Okay, I'm just seeing this. Chardon, late tonight. So you have your picnic, and you've got a few more hours before you have to worry. Brandon, how are you, Mr. Ott? How fast is it moving? It's moving east at 40 miles per hour. Love having Brandon here. Love having you all here. It's awesome. May head north toward Trumbull and Ashtabula in the moment. Our storm chaser, Tyler Berry, is chiming in. Yeah, I think this is mainly straight line wind damage here. It has been storming up at Johnson Island at Marblehead for 30 minutes. Katie, yes. Absolutely. Cuyahoga Falls. Again, you got some storms popping Worcester to Akron. We'll see where they go. They're moving east for now. You got some storms to the west. And we're going to do some drawing here in just a minute. Okay, everybody, we're kind of caught up. Bad wind and lightning. Okay. What about the Creston area? Again, we're watching for storms. Right now, Creston's okay. Got a couple of storms firing near Worcester, near up toward Akron, to the east side of Akron. We're watching those storms carefully. So far, so good. Will it be bad in Wellington? Define bad. Wellington, you're just south of the severe thunderstorm warning. I think you're going to get some rain. I really do. I think you're going to get some rain. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Let's play around a little bit. Okay? Let's zoom on in. We'll bring up our current thunderstorms radar right in here. Now, look what's happening here. I want to show you this feature. So the storms themselves are producing what's called an outflow boundary. So we have some vigorous storms right in here. There may be like a small area of rotation. This is just a mesocyclone right in here. It just slowly rotates. But it's producing what's called an outflow boundary. You may see a shelf cloud. Let me know if you do. This is an outflow boundary right here. It's like a little mini cold front, but it's well away from the rain. As soon as you see the outflow boundary racing this far ahead of the rain, guess what? This rain is going to weaken. It's going to fade. The storms are going to fade. So we know that for sure. These storms are going to fade. Now, could they redevelop farther south here? Yep. But this is the outflow boundary right in there. So here's the outflow boundary. Notice here is also the lake breeze boundary. All right, the lake breeze boundary is pushed inland this far here. As I've been telling you, it's pushed in this way. Now this outflow boundary is coming in like this. And coming in like this. Now, it's less stable here, or it's more stable here. There's less energy to make big thunderstorms here. Not to say you won't have rain or thunder. But what also could happen is we watch this outflow boundary meet up with this basically east-west sea breeze front. And right in this area here, you could get some feisty thunderstorms that form along what we call a triple point. Any storm that forms here, I automatically, my ears perk up, my head perks up. I'm like, uh-oh, we got to watch this. Because these could be your worst storms of the evening. Right now, there's nothing there. But I'm just kind of alerting you to that, okay? Whoops. I'm just kind of letting you know. For some reason, I lost my feed here. I moved it around. There it is. It's back. So I just wanted you to know, we're going to watch this area here for any development of thunderstorms because that triple point. But once again, you see this outflow boundary with the storms way back here, they're going to weaken. They're going to be non-severe. Still not, I mean, they still could produce some pretty good winds, but the outflow boundary is too far out ahead. It's scooping up all the moisture and it has to throw it way back here to these thunderstorms. So here's the best juice. The outflow boundary is like a mini cold front. So it's got to scoop up the moisture, the humidity, and throw it way back at these thunderstorms. So we're going to watch for new development of storms in this area. Okay. We'll watch the triple point, which is right in here. And we expect these storms to fade. Does that make sense? Let me know in the comments if that makes sense to you. And then, of course, we have this broken line of storms forming here. Obviously, some little leftover boundary there, okay? I do want to zoom in on those. So let's go in on these. Once again, severe thunderstorm warning out until 8:30. This is for Lorain County. This is for Ottawa, Sandusky, Seneca, Erie, and Huron counties. Okay, until 8:30 for 60-mile-an-hour winds. But I'm telling you, the storms are weakening. Look at them. They're a shadow of their former self. Your biggest thunderstorms right now are down here. Way down here, where we expect them to be. These storms are going to weaken. Will they make it into Cleveland? I hope not, because they got a ball game to win. Those Guardians. Let's go Guards. They got a ball game to win. All right, I got to delete that. So let's go Guards. So there's our storms here. Let's go into these real quick. Let's show you what's going on down here. Non-severe at this moment. You've got broken line of thunderstorms near Worcester. We'll slide on into Smithville. You got some heavy rain there, maybe some thunder and lightning trying to pop here. Rittman to Doylestown. What's going on where you are? Tell me in the comments what's going on where you are. Look at how many folks we have here. This is tremendous. I really appreciate it. Don't forget, like and share, because folks are out partying. Folks are out having their picnics already. Folks are not paying attention to TV, so that's why we're here tonight. We want you to pay attention to us right here. I want to get that light out of that image. I don't like that light in the background, okay? It's probably too blinding. How's the audio today? How's the audio? Hopefully it's good. Anyway, there's a couple of cells here. Portage Lakes, yeah, you want a boat tonight, you may have to go in just for a few minutes. It doesn't look too terrible. Barberton, Doylestown, Portage Lakes, you got some pretty good rain coming your way. Another cell between Brimfield and Suffield in Portage County near Rootstown, and they're sliding toward the east-northeast at about 40 miles per hour. Here's that cell that had a little special weather statement on it for a 40-mile-an-hour wind gust. That's fading. If I go back a few frames, you can see it was much stronger west of Champion, over Southington. Look at all that heavy rain in there. Boom. It really is at its peak right here over Southington with that heavy rain. Anyone in Southington want to share what happened there? Champion. And that's kind of fading out. Okay, that's fine with me. Fine with me. So there it is. Line of strong to severe storms. This is fading. I don't think we're going to have an extension of our warning. I really don't. I really don't. Our mesoscale discussion, severe potential. A watch is possible, but only a 40% chance of it. Maximum wind gusts would be 50 to 70 miles per hour in these thunderstorms, which is huge. But I don't think they're going to reissue a thunderstorm warning farther upstream, if you will, farther to the east. These storms down here, still feisty, coming into Findlay. They're in the best juice, but as I mentioned before, what do we see? What do we see? We see the outflow boundary already coming out of the storm and reaching all the way down here. So you got all this empty space. The wind gust produced by the storms is racing out ahead. It's already over here, and these storms are going to be choked off behind it. If you want mature thunderstorms to continue to stay strong to severe, and I'm not saying I want that, you need that outflow boundary and the storm motion to keep up with each other. You need that shelf cloud to be right near the leading edge and stay there and hang there. That means the storm motion it can't lag behind the actual outflow boundary. And that happens a lot, especially in derechos, but in this case, it's not happening. Severe thunderstorm warning until 8:30, Lorain County, Erie, and Huron counties. We're carving it out. I don't think there's severe weather there right now. I really don't. Let's see what kind of comments I'm getting right now. Let's go. Bing. Let's go back to some comments. Mark, fix that storm. It needs to split around Progressive Field to miss the ballgame. I agree, Rich. We're trying. We need those storms to really fade away. It's like taking a weather class. You know what, Wilma, you are the best. I work with an incredible team of meteorologists. I mean, you have Betsy, you have Matt, you have Jessica, you have Anthony. I mean, you know, what a team. What a team. All right, let's answer some more questions. Hey, Mark, how are we going to be in Stark County through tonight? Well, a couple of storms in Stark County. They're already on the radar. Will they be severe? Possibly. But I think as the sun goes down, our threat for severe weather becomes less and less. Because, yes, we've got the juice, we got the high humidity, and a lot of ingredients are in play. But in this kind of atmosphere, once the sun goes down, I think it's going to be harder and harder to sustain these storms. We'll see. Guardians are up 1-0. Yes. Geneva. I hope these storms fade before they reach you in Geneva. I think they will. Because what's working against storms in Geneva, Ohio tonight is because here's Geneva right up here. Okay. Let me draw. I need this to be thicker. And let's do a little more colorful stuff. Okay. So here's Geneva up here. Boom. So these would be the storms that would be coming toward Geneva because they're moving east. And look what's happening to the thunderstorms over the lake. They're fading. They're going bye-bye. So Geneva, you got a chance for an isolated thunder shower, but I really don't think we're going to have to deal with anything severe. How are we going to be in Stark County through tonight? Oh, I think I already answered that. Middlefield, Ohio. Haven't you had enough activity there in the last couple of days? Right now, you're a few hours away from anything. You're between lines of storms. And again, once the sun goes down, these storms are really going to fade out. Look at all the folks who are joining me today. I love this. Don't forget to like, comment, and please share. It tells the algorithm that this content is worthy to be shared all across Northern Ohio to folks who need it. And in particular, this is a holiday weekend. Who is not going to be inside in front of their TV set? Me? Raise your hand, please. A show of hands out there. Leave a comment. Are you going to be sitting at home in front of your TV Saturday, even on Sunday, because you're worried about thunderstorms? Are you going to do that? No, we want you to be there and watch the news, 6 and 11, the morning show as well, but we need to find a way to reach you folks because you're going to be out and about. You're going to be doing picnics. You're going to be trying to do fireworks. You're going to be visiting friends and family and neighbors. Okay? Friends and family and neighbors. Let's show the evolution of these thunderstorms. Boom, boom, boom. Watch those storms to the north begin to fade out. Now, let's see if they refire closer to the outflow boundary. Let's see. Closer to that shelf cloud, which is now near Willard. Let's see what they do. And they're approaching that lake breeze boundary as well. So we'll see what kind of storms fire along that. There it is. We have our heat advisory. Well, it's not a heat advisory. It's an extreme heat warning in effect for another 6 minutes. Then we'll finally get rid of that. Now, it's going to be hot and muggy tomorrow. We're at 90 degrees again tomorrow with a feels like temp near 100. We've extended the weather impact alert for the heat, for the humidity, but plus for the storms and for the fact that most of us aren't going to be near our TV to get warnings. So we want to put this idea in your head that you need to stay connected with us, okay, and somehow get information. Somehow get information. So the Guardians want to know, how are we trending? Storms are weakening, but rain will reach closer to 8:30. Okay, that's what we're talking to the Guardians right now. So we're going to watch the rain. Hopefully we can get rid of most of this rain. Let's go. We want the Guardians to be able to play ball. I think they will. I mean, even if there's a little rain delay, they're going to be able to play ball. They'll be able to play ball. Guards are trending. All right. I hope they're trending. Your tomorrow's ball game, that's at 7:10 as well. And again, there could be a couple of thunderstorms around. It's too hard to tell day to day, how these storms are going to react and where these storms are going to fire and what time of day they're going to fire. This atmosphere that we're under right now is too it's too crazy to be able to tell you 24 hours in advance what time and where these storms are going to fire. Like today, we had 4 different computer models we looked at and 4 different solutions on storms. Okay, 4 different solutions. Lorraine getting spicy with the wind. Okay, should we go in and track some wind gusts again? Why not? Let's track some wind. So let's zoom on in here. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to zoom on in where we have our severe thunderstorm warning, and we're watching Cleveland downtown, the Guardians. And again, as we watch these storms, we watched the first few storms form over Lake Erie, and then they faded out. But now we're seeing the storms trying to they're going to push into downtown Cleveland. I think we're going to get through the 3rd inning. Betsy and I are chatting, and it looks like they're going to get rain in downtown closer to 8:30. Get another 30 minutes, unless something forms way out ahead of this line. Gust front just went through, according to my buddy Tom Kelly. Gust front just went through, I believe, Avon. Let me try and get that text. He's a great weather watcher. Leave filter. Come on. So here's Tom. Gust front just went through Amherst. My guess, 50 miles per hour. Amherst, right in here. Right in here. Gust front coming through. All right, where's the gust front? There it is. Big wind gust right in there. So now, folks, where's the gust front? Well, let's stop everything. Bring it up to current time, and let's do some analysis. All right, look at these winds. Wow, look at these winds out here along the shore and just over the lake. How strong are they? Well, now you're at 60 miles per hour, but this is over the lake. Watch out, Avon Lake. They may have to extend this severe thunderstorm warning because these are still feisty winds. Avon Lake, watch out, because right over the lake, you've got, I saw 60 in there. You got 55 to 60 mile an hour winds real close by. Even back here, again, over the lake, moving into Lorraine, you got 55, 58 miles per hour. Now here's Amherst where the gust front just went through, and it's showing 37, 39. I saw a couple of 40s in there. There's 40, 41, just moving through Amherst. So you can see the gust front's producing some really gusty winds, but I'm concerned now about Avon Lake. They're going to have to probably reissue this severe thunderstorm warning for Greater Cleveland coming up very, very shortly. Let's see what happens, because we do have some very, very serious wind gusts right in here. You can see 50, 57 over the lake. There are 50 to 60 mile an hour winds along the shoreline, Avon Lake to Lorraine. There's Sheffield Lake right in the middle. Avon, you're getting the gust front right now. Anybody in Avon, can you comment on what kind of winds you're getting? So right here is 50 mile an hour. There's Avon Lake at 54. Sheffield Lake, you're 50. And just out over the lake, you're higher. And again, the radar beam, we're close to the radar beam. So this is pretty close to ground level, Even back here, 50 mile an hour winds moving into Lorraine. Sheffield, you're in that 40 mile an hour range. Avon, City of, you're at 43. All right, so some strong winds here, and I would expect we may get an extension of our severe thunderstorm warning coming out very, very shortly. So this is new. This storm kind of popped up, and again, this is close to the outflow boundary here. It's popping up along the lake right there. And then you got these other storms here, but look back here, the lake breeze, the outflow boundary is really traveling well out ahead. So these other storms back to Milan, Norwalk, Florence, Vermilion, they're going to weaken. They'll continue to weaken. And the sun's going down. It's going to go down here in the next hour. I know we got another hour to wait, but I think there's going to have to be a rain delay for the Guardians game. I'll be honest here. Yeah, I'm looking for damage reports. I'm looking at texts coming in. We're still connected to the Guardians to let them know what's happening. We'll stay here as long as we can. We're going to prepare for our 11 o'clock show here, although that might be delayed if the Guardians are delayed because they're on Channel 3 tonight. So if the Guardians are delayed, this may be a very late night, depending on when the newscast will go on the air. Didn't want to see a rain delay here. And all weekend long, remember, this type of thunder activity is possible. And you're saying, Mark, when and where? And I keep telling you, no, don't know. Because of this convoluted atmosphere we're under right now, it's almost day of. You get up in the morning and you say, let's find where the outflow boundaries from yesterday's storms are located. Let's find out where the best energy over the state of Ohio is located. Where's the best fuel? Let's find out where you may have a little, small area of low pressure kind of hanging around, Michigan or Indiana or Illinois. Will that be moving our way and in? And will that fire up storms? Is there a front somewhere nearby? So every morning when you get up, you kind of have to reanalyze things. You can't tell. I can't tell you when the storms are going to fire tomorrow and where they're going to hit tomorrow or Sunday. But there are going to be storms Saturday and going to be storms Sunday for many of you. Where and when? Stay tuned. Watching the storm firing up here. This is Avon Lake. Again, we're seeing some wind gusts above 50 miles per hour or near 50 miles per hour. There you go. Brand new severe thunderstorm warning just issued. And we told you about it a few minutes ago. Brand new severe thunderstorm warning for Lorain County and Cuyahoga County until 9 p.m. 9 p.m. Severe thunderstorms located along a line from Avon Lake to Amherst, moving east at 45 miles per hour. They picked up a little steam. Wind gusts to 60 miles per hour possible. Radar indicated. I showed you on the radar. And again, a lot of that 60 plus mile an hour wind is out over the lake. So if I'm the Guardians here, if we back it up, this is firing up along the gust front. So if I'm the Guardians, I think this is, remember, if you joined me on the stream a little while ago, I said closer to 825 for downtown Cleveland. We may move that up a little bit, but I think within the next 10, 15 minutes, we're probably going to have to pull the tarp. I got to see what inning they're in. Let's see what inning they're in. They're top of the fourth. Okay, so they made it through 3 innings at the top of the fourth. Guardians are up 1-0, but they're going to end up pulling the tarp on this game, and there's going to end up being a rain delay. I apologize for that. I wish I could put a big dome over downtown and keep everybody dry, but these storms are coming in. They've lost some steam in certain areas, but again, they're dropping some pretty strong winds as they move through. Here's the velocity, and you see these brighter areas of, green, but they're now kind of turning blue, and I'm running my cursor over it. There's 65 mile an hour winds, but it's out over the lake, and it's a little aloft. 57, 59, there it is. Go to Avon Lake. You're at 53 miles per hour here. You're at 49. Let's go to Lorain downtown. You're at 50, right in there. You're 51. Okay? So you're seeing 51 mile per hour wind gusts there. Okay, I'm just checking my phone to make sure I'm not missing anything. Make sure I'm not, and don't forget, please ask your questions. We'll try and get to them as quickly as we can. How is Medina looking for fireworks tonight? Well, we'll see what these storms do. If these storms continue to slide south, Medina may get a little soaking here. Here's the outflow boundary that's near Huntington, just through Wellington now. moving in towards Shelby. This is where the outflow boundary is. So here's the outflow boundary from the storms, and it's really far away from this area of the thunderstorms right here. So these storms are fading, but the leading edge storms here are still feisty. And that's, that's the wild card. That's the wild card. So there's your high winds. We'll take a look at some of the other storms here. Not seeing any real high winds. You got Cortland, got some gusty winds to near 40 miles per hour. Here's your super res. You got a few little hit and miss storms around the city of Greene, New Franklin, moving into Suffield. There might be a little bit of thunder. It's primarily rain there. Marshallville to Oroville, Marlborough Township, Rootstown. Did you notice we lost our pink? At 8 p.m., our extreme heat warning expired. I'll also note that the Storm Prediction Center has not pulled the trigger on a severe thunderstorm watch box. Okay? They have not pulled the trigger on that. So Guardians are going to have to pull the tarp here in 15 to 20 minutes. They may want to preempt that. We have that severe thunderstorm warning out for Greater Cleveland, for Cuyahoga County, portions of Lorain County until 9 p.m. And right now it's 8:07. I think the storms that are now in Westlake are crossing the line. They're moving into Westlake. Lakewood, you're next here. But even this little cell doesn't look nearly as intense as it did. Unfortunately, we're going to have some rain in downtown. We really are. We're going to have some rain. And even if it's, it's going to be rain and gusty winds. It's going to be rain and wind gusts 40, 50 plus mile an hour. So if you're in downtown Cleveland, if you're around Cuyahoga County, prepare for storms coming in from the west out of Lorain County. They're already there. And even if they weaken, the wind that they're producing will remain a factor for whatever you're trying to do through the evening. Well, looky here. A heat advisory issued, expires July 4th at 8 p.m. So the extreme heat warning was allowed to expire, and now we have a brand new heat advisory. All right. It means it's not going to be quite as hot, but it's still going to be hot. Still going to be humid. A heat advisory is for feels like temps between 100 and 104 degrees, not 105 plus. So that's a heat advisory just issued. You're seeing it here live first. You're seeing it here live first on the feed. On the feed, you're seeing it here. So Cuyahoga County under a severe thunderstorm warning until 9 p.m. New comments coming in. Wind changed the temp by at least 15 degrees. That's Kimmy Hall. Very windy in Grafton now and pitch black. Yep. You got some storms just to your north. Patio furniture tossed over in Lorain. Yep. You got 50-mile-an-hour winds moving in. Pouring in Bay Village. Relief. All right, Mary says winds blew crazy in Sheffield Township, was blowing west, then turned south. Probably near that outflow boundary. What about Kirtland? My flowers and garden need some rain. Barb, we'll see if these showers make it to Kirtland. We'll see how far east they go. Probably some rain in there. The rain in Medina, you got it. Wind just picked up in North Ridgeville. New Franklin near Nimisila Reservoir, it's pouring. Yes, because of that cell right here. Right here. There's that cell. Heavy rain there. New Franklin, Portage Lakes, City of Greene, Coventry. Just outside of downtown. You got Suffield Township, Uniontown. You got a little bit of rain there. That's all moving east, slightly north of east. Around 30, 35 miles per hour. Marshallville, Oroville, you still have some of that rain there too, okay? Those are non-severe cells. If there's any thunder and lightning, okay. But here's the big show. And look what's happening to these thunderstorms west. Look, what's happening, folks. Let's go back. Watch this big old line of severe storms begin to blow up. Here it goes. Blows up. Severe thunderstorm warnings right there. Pop. All right, severe thunderstorm warnings. Then you have the outflow boundary begin to race way out ahead of everything. And now look what's happening. Those storms are fading out. Sandusky, Norwalk, Tiffin, non-severe. The only severe weather is near Findlay now. And of course, right up here along the shoreline where we don't want it, right in here, severe thunderstorm warning. That's for Cuyahoga County till 9 p.m. Portions of Lorain County, Sheffield, Elyria, Amherst, South Amherst, Lorain. You're getting some heavy rains right now. In fact, let's go and check our wind. Boom. Oh, my. Guess where the worst of it is? Guess where the worst? Where you see those bright green colors, that's where it is the worst. And we'll throw some data on there. 57-mile-an-hour winds, 59. All right, that's enough to take some trees down, power lines down. 57. Right here on the other side of Avon Lake along the shoreline, you're at 50, 51, 53 miles per hour. So all of this is blowing toward downtown, blowing toward the airport, Lakewood. Gust front is moving into you right now as we speak. We'll slide on over to downtown Cleveland. The gust front's about ready to enter the picture. So let's see what the Guardians are saying right now. I'm just going to let them know, get ready to pull. Get ready to pull the tarp. Okay, waiting. They're going to try and play as much as they can here. I'm just pulling up the score. Pulling up the score. Do. Sorry about that. So it's top of the fifth now. We got through 4 innings. Top of the fifth, they're in a break. This is the perfect time to pull the tarp right now because you got the gust front that's moving in. I wish I could see out the window. I should have set up this live stream from behind, from the big window in the back. Next time I'll try and do that. That would be fun. And then we could see what's coming behind us. Top of the fifth, they're in between innings. They've made it through 4. And now here comes the gust front. And eventually we get some rain. It's to the north of downtown now. Oh, my goodness. Special marine warning just issued until 9:45 for Lake County and Ashtabula County, just for these storms and the turbulence and the high winds it's creating. Thanks for everybody who have joined us here. We have increased our amount of viewers. We've been on 57 minutes, and the amount of viewership's gone up. Please don't forget to like, share, tell me where you are, comment, leave me the little hearts and the thumbs up. It tells the algorithm that this content needs to go to more people, and this information needs to go to more people, right? It needs to get to as many folks as possible because a lot of you aren't watching television. A lot of you are outside playing, it's the holiday, and you'll be doing it again tomorrow and on Sunday. And so we need to find ways to get you information when we have severe thunderstorm warnings that come up. Okay, just checking. Just checking. So there it is. So we have a brand new heat advisory that was issued through the day tomorrow through 8 p.m. for heat indexes between 100 and 104. We have our current severe thunderstorm warning for Cuyahoga, portions of Lorain County until 9 p.m., 60-mile-an-hour radar indicated winds. We still technically have a severe thunderstorm warning until 8:30 for portions of Lorain, Erie, and Huron counties. But I can tell you, unless you're in Lorain City, the winds behind this are certainly not 60 miles per hour. The worst of the winds are pretty much along the lake shore and north out over the lake. And they'll be coming slamming into Cleveland here very, very shortly. I'm hoping that they're pulling the tarp. I'm hoping they're pulling the tarp in the game right now. Let's just wait it out. I do believe that as we go through in time, we're going to see these storms fade. They're going to leave us, and then we'll be able to continue playing that ball game. There will be a little rain delay. We do know that, okay? Lightning has not increased in these thunderstorms near the lake shore. In fact, it's diminished a little bit. So that's good news. That kind of tells us what's going on. When you see the lightning begin to fade a little bit, then that's when you know the storms are showing signs that they're they're going to fade as well. They're still strong. They're still packing a punch. But you can see, here you are. Zooming on in, we got some scattered showers moving through the Summit, northern Stark County, Portage County area there. Might be a rumble of thunder. Nothing severe on those. They are not able to sustain themselves at all. They kind of pulse. They rain themselves out, and then they fall and fade. The worst of the storms are right up close to Cleveland, western suburbs of Cuyahoga County into downtown Lorain and Elyria. And that's where we're seeing the strongest winds. And it's primarily straight line winds that we're concerned about. We'll zoom on in one more time. We're going to show you the winds. Watch, boom. All right, what's this little here? Wall cloud about 10 miles to my west, above Westlake moving east. Okay, we have a report of a wall cloud. So what is a wall cloud? It's basically a lowering of the thunderstorm cloud base in a small section, which does show rotation. Close to the lake, and they said they saw the wall cloud right at 8:15, 10 miles to the west, above Westlake. So right in here, if we go back at 8:15, let's go back. This is 8:16. This report just came in. Okay, I see straight line winds here. I really do. I see straight line winds. There may be you know what, folks? There's got to be a shelf cloud, right? Am I right? Tell me if you're looking outside here in the greater Cleveland area and you're seeing a shelf cloud. That big old, it looks like a shelf. It's sharp at the bottom, sharp on the edge, and it goes up. Real dark. Tell me if you see a shelf cloud anywhere, okay? And we'll put your comment up. Don't forget to leave your comments so we can show them. Guardians just saved a run at home plate. Yeah. All right. Rain falling at the stadium now. This just coming in right now. So it's starting to rain downtown. They're going to have to pull that tarp very, very shortly because not only do they have rain moving in, they've got some extremely gusty winds. Winds at the Guardians game. Yep, they're coming. My beautiful wife, Mary, wind picking up at the stadium, watching and listening to you. Thank you, honey. Love ya. You got the tarp ready. Good. That's what they should have. All right, let's go back to our reflectivity. It's starting to rain, and the gust front is now reaching downtown. So where's the gust front? Gust front's right in here. There's the gust front. So there's that wall of wind that's racing out ahead of these thunderstorms, produced by the collapsing storms, produced by the rain falling from higher in the clouds, hitting the ground. It brings wind down with it, and that wind funnels out ahead and creates a gust front. And usually this is where your shelf cloud is located. This is usually where your shelf cloud is located. So if you see a shelf cloud, let me know in the comments. Strongsville, are you seeing a shelf cloud? Parma, North Royalton, Seven Hills, Newburgh Heights, downtown Cleveland, East Cleveland, Euclid. Are you seeing a shelf cloud moving your way right now? Would not be surprised. We do have one report of a wall cloud in Westlake. Possible, but to me, it seems more likely that that was a shelf coming in. And here's your gust front that would be producing your shelf cloud right in here. It stretches from right downtown Cleveland through Valley City, through Litchfield, down to Polk and Ashland. And all the storms that are way behind it are fading. Cancel them. Cancel them. Cancel them. They're going to fade. Got a little storm here near New Franklin and Hartville. Maybe not even thunder. Am I seeing any thunder and lightning in there? Not really. Okay, you got a little heavy rainer near Alliance right now. My friends at Q92 Radio. Probably a little bit of thunder and lightning in those. All right? But the storms are moving into downtown Cleveland. They're ready to pull the tarp. Let me know. I'm not watching the game. Let me know when they pull the tarp, okay? So that I can let everybody know too here. So what do you think of this radar program, by the way? I need your comments on this. This is something brand new. I'm still learning the system, but it's such an awesome system that I have a feeling I'm going to be using this from now on. The other system that I was using is really awesome too. It's got some really cool features to it. It's a little more complicated. This is very user friendly. It's a very plug and play type scenario. Look at all the folks with us right now, watching the severe thunderstorms come in to downtown Cleveland. I want to look at some of the comments that we have. Let's see, East Lake getting dark. Okay. How do I send photos? Well, you can post them in the comments here on the Facebook page, or you can send them to Johnson_NC5, Nancy Charles, the number 5 at hotmail.com. Wind picking up by Hopkins. You see we see the shelf cloud in Willowick. They see the shelf cloud in Seven Hills. That's phenomenal. Shelf cloud in Willowick. Wow. Aaron, thank you for being here. Thanks to all of you for being here. This is what we do. And if you like this, I'll try and do this again tomorrow on the 4th. If there's going to be some bad weather, I'll try and be here too. So make sure you keep your phone. Make sure you're following me on whatever social media account you're watching this. Make sure you're sharing this with friends and family, okay? Make sure you're sharing this with friends. Is it going to be bad in Mentor? Well, we're going to have some thundery weather moving into Mentor very, 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 very soon. East Lake shelf cloud coming in over lake. All right. So we have confirmation of the shelf cloud, which we knew we would have. Shelf cloud in Eaton Township. Nasty looking shelf cloud in Strongsville. This is perfect. This is perfect. Is Akron getting the storm? You're going to get something. Sunshine and no breeze in Millersburg. Yike. Stifling. Seeing one here. Strongsville. You're seeing the shelf cloud. When will the storms fade? Once this main line gets by, we're going to see things really drastically quiet down. Susan, seeing the shelf over Cleveland now, and you're in Garfield Heights. I really wish I were near a window right now. I hope you all are taking pictures and you're going to post them to my Facebook page. And when you do, please give me permission to share them, okay? Wow, it's black at Guardians on TV. Have they pulled the tarp? Have they pulled the tarp? Jim says it's totally clear, the Ohio PA line. Just wait. Friend sent a cloud pic from Fulton, Memphis. Very unique looking. Okay, I want to see that. Where did you, post it on my Facebook page or DM me on Facebook, MarkJweather or Mark Johnson. Just share that with me. And of course, please give me permission to use your photos in the post or in your comment today and in the future. Please give me permission and I'll share them with everybody. How will it impact Bucyrus? Well, Bucyrus is going to get some strong thunderstorms within the next 20 minutes. Bruce, thanks for being here, buddy. So there's our line of thunderstorms, and there's our severe thunderstorm warning. Cuyahoga County until 9 p.m., 60 mile an hour. Radar indicated high winds coming into downtown right now, impacting everybody outside, the Guardians game especially. Here's the shelf clouds coming in ahead of the rain. It's basically right in here. You can see it. There it is. There's the outflow boundary. It's a shelf cloud. And now what else am I noticing? Well, I'm glad you asked. And there's more. So what am I noticing here? Let's stop this right there. Oh, guess we got to go back. Here we go. What am I noticing? Along the shelf, along the outflow, we're getting new activity beginning to start. New thunderstorms trying to form. Some of them here trying to pop right behind this is where the best energy is, right here. This is where the juice is. Any thunderstorm who wants to stay in existence has to connect to the juice and the heat and humidity. And this is where the juice is, right here. Well, here's the lake breeze. And here's the outflow. So remember what I said to you earlier. And for those just joining me, here's the lake breeze. And here's the outflow boundary, the gust front, the shelf cloud. Any storm that forms near the intersection of these two, you got to watch carefully because that could be the biggest storm of all. So this cell over Parma, I'm watching because it's right at the triple point. It's right at where here's 1, here's 2, here's 3. We call this a triple point. And right there is when you can have some of your worst sells. So this one over Parma, we're going to watch. We're going to see what this one does. In the meantime, let's show you our velocity. There's your gust front. Man, that's screaming. That's producing some serious wind all by itself. Let's do some measurements here on those winds. All right. Look at these wind gusts. Holy mackerel. These things are producing 60-mile-an-hour winds along the gust front. 46. This one near Hinckley, that's 62. Back here, 47. Back here toward Hinckley, you're at 45, 50. The gust front is producing 50 to 60-mile-an-hour winds. That's crazy. I mean, that's okay. You've been warned. So even if the rain is well behind, the gust front is now taking over as your wind producer. Craziness. All right, I want to show you. Go back. So there's your gust front, and here's your strong winds with the actual thunderstorms themselves. So I do want to zoom in on those. So let's go in here and see how strong these winds are as they approach the airport at ground level. Let's do 45. Let's do 47. Let's do 48. So we're still near 50. There's 50. This is Westlake. Coming into Westlake, 50-mile-an-hour winds. Coming into Fairview, coming into Rocky River. Bay Village, winds have calmed down, but still gusty. It's right here. It's right in here near, let's see, what is that? Bradley Road, Swartz Road, Porter Road, Dunford Road, Hilliard Boulevard, Center Ridge Road, Westlake, Detroit Road, Crocker, right there between Crocker, Detroit, Center Ridge. That's where we're seeing those 50-mile-an-hour wind gusts right now. Anybody in those areas? Can you tell me what's going on? That's moving toward Fairview Park, North Olmsted, moving toward the airport right now. Rocky River. Boom. All right, so strong winds. Downtown Cleveland getting rain. Guardians, I think they've pulled the tarp. Am I right? They've pulled the tarp. I'm going to check your comments. Coming back for your comments. Love your comments. Picking up now North Olmsted Township. After this passes, are there more coming? Probably not. I don't think so. Maybe tomorrow. This is from our YouTube channel, MarkJweather on YouTube. Make sure you're following that. Market's hitting now in Garfield Heights. Yes, says Leslie. Also a weird cloud shelf, 100%. Wind is wild in Brunswick, and it's dark. So they've pulled the tarp for the Guardians game. They're in a rain delay. We do have our severe thunderstorm warning for Cuyahoga County, and that goes until 9 p.m. A wider view. That's now the only warning that we have. These storms are really kind of having a hard time. These storms out to the west, Norwalk, Shelby, they're lacking a lot of organization. They're pulsing up and then they're fading away. And that's kind of how it's been. We've had this one area of thunderstorms that's kind of held up through Toledo, held up through Sandusky and the islands, now holding up into Cleveland. But they're going to weaken as they shift east, southeast. They are. Watching these storms near Shelby, Mansfield, and Wellington. They're new storms. They're closer to the outflow boundary, which is now here. They're closer to that gust of wind, which is now right in here. They're forming just behind it. So this outflow boundary is basically scooping up the hot air and the muggy air here, the best energy, and throwing it back this way. And these storms are grabbing it and firing up. How long they stay fired up? We'll see. We'll see. Rain delay now for the Guardians game. It looks like it's going to be at least an hour before they start play again, even as these storms kind of fade away. Or it might even be later than that. Okay. New comments. Love it. Look at all of you here. This is tremendous. Don't forget to like and share. Don't forget to follow. Leave your comments here. If you don't like this weather, give me a thumbs down. All of these things matter. Is it going to hit Ashtabula County? Something is. There's going to be some rain there. Will it be severe? Probably not. There is a report of a wall cloud. Yeah, we've been hearing that. That was over Westlake, but that wall cloud is now well out of the way, and we're not expecting anything tornadic. So even if there was a little lowering of the cloud base in a small section, that's the rotating portion of the thunderstorm. If the cloud base lowered a little bit and formed a wall cloud, we're not expecting a tornado to drop from that at all. All right, I'm checking my messages. All right, we got to check in. Trying to get some pictures here. New severe thunderstorm warning until 9:15 for Huron County, and that's for down here. That's for these storms now down near Willard. And again, these are suspicious looking. I think there's severe weather near Upper Sandusky outside our viewing area. I think there's severe weather here. And maybe New Regal is still experiencing some gusty winds. We can check on those. Yeah, Van Loo, Cary, there's definitely some gusty winds, 50 plus mile an hour here where you see those brighter blues right here, moving east-northeast. But it's pretty far away from Willard, and by the time it reaches Willard, it's probably not going to be severe based on the gust front and all that's going on, okay? So technically a tiny smidgen of Huron County right here. Willard to Celeryville is in a severe thunderstorm warning until 9:15, but that's really it. Okay, we have a wind damage report coming in. Tree down across the road, 747. 747. Woo, we can twirl this around. I love it. 747 was when that report came in. Let's bring it back kind of full screenish. Kind of like that tilt. That's kind of cool. So that's near Milan. That's right in Milan, in fact. We had a report of a tree down across the road right there in Milan in southern Erie County. So that's our second damage report, first one in our viewing area. The Gibsonburg damage report's pretty substantial. Multiple trees and power lines down in the village of Gibsonburg. But again, that's Sandusky County, southeast of Toledo. Those are the only damage reports that we have right now that are coming in. Still super strong wind gusts here along the gust front. Wow. The gust front over Brecksville is producing 50 to 60 mile an hour winds. And there's no rain there. So you're getting this monster. Anybody in Brecksville right now? You're getting this monster. That's the reflectivity. There's no rain. Let's show you the velocity. Boom. Look at that. Wow. Okay. What's the wind doing? 62, 67. Uh-oh. Let's put something on over here. 73. Is that possible? It's possible. 65 mile an hour wind gusts right here in Brecksville right now. Could be a little artifact from the radar, but this whole gust front is just blowing by without any rain. It's blowing across I-77, I-271. Richfield, you're getting it right now, and there's no rain with it, but you got 60 mile an hour winds coming in right now with that shelf cloud and gust front. Beware. We're actually tracking a gust front with no rain producing 60 mile an hour winds, stretching from near Euclid. And look what they just did. They just issued what's called a, let's go back here. All right. This is called a special weather statement for wind gusts to 50 miles per hour, gust front, without any rain there. So there it is. In fact, all right, we'll read it for you. Doppler radar tracking a gust front well out ahead of the thunderstorms along a line from 7 miles southeast of North Royalton to 7 miles west of Worcester. Movement east at 50 miles per hour. So you know the winds are gusting at least to that. Wind gust to 50, radar indicated. Gusty winds could knock down tree limbs and blow around unsecured objects. So we're just talking about the gust front. The National Weather Service just issued a special weather statement for 50 mile an hour winds along this gust front. And there it is. There's the gust front right there. And that's where we have these huge wind gusts right in here. And I'm telling you that gust near Brecksville, again, it may be a radar artifact, maybe some interference, but I'm telling you, Brecksville, what's the weather like where you are in Brecksville? Did you get a big gust of wind? Anybody in Brecksville? Bet you did. Again, the storms are really showing signs they're fading. We got a strong cell here near Lodi. We got a couple of strong cells near Mansfield toward Bailey Lakes. These are newly developed. We can go back a little while. See, there's nothing there. The gust front is popping them. They're popping along the gust front. See, the gust front acts as a cold front now. Watch. Here's the gust front sliding through Sullivan, Bailey Lakes. I'll zoom in a little bit. All right, let's zoom in. Let's show you the storms that pop along the gust front. So the gust front provides the lift right here. It's acting like a cold front. It's scooping up the air. Now watch where the gust front is. Now watch what happens. The gust front's scooping the air. Watch, boom. There's the new storms forming closer to the gust front. And the storms that are behind it are fading fast. So now the new threat for strong thunder cells are now Medina County, Wayne County, Ashland County, Richland County. Strong thunderstorms here over downtown. Well, we've got a severe weather warning for those. Severe thunderstorm warning until 9 p.m. And by my watch, we're sitting at 8:37. 8:37. Shaker Heights, Mayfield Heights. It's got to be windy right now in Wickliffe. Mayfield Heights, Pepper Pike. We don't have a severe thunderstorm warning yet for Lake or Geauga counties. We just had a new report of a wall cloud coming in. Rotating wall cloud with it. It's in the distance, he says. Funnel cloud report. Okay, we have a report of a funnel cloud right here. And okay, am I believing it? Well, you got a little hook in here. You got a little area of rotation. This is where the gust front begins. So here's your inflow. It's coming right in this way and right up in here, and it's spinning this area. So there absolutely could be definitely a wall cloud. A funnel cloud, maybe. It might be some scud or something that kind of drops down and looks like a funnel. But hey, if you're out there and you see it rotating, it's moving in toward Kirtland Hills, Mentor, Concord Township. It's moving your way. Mary, if you're watching, there's a reported wall cloud that's moving right toward Concord right now. So hopefully everybody's indoors. Tell the neighbors. Hopefully the neighbors are watching. So, here's Kirtland. Here's Mentor, Kirtland Hills. Here's Concord Township, Paynesville. There's a rotating wall cloud right in here. Let's check out our velocities. Well, let's go back an image or two. Let's see if we can see it. It's not very strong, but it's definitely a possibility. It's where the shelf cloud begins. So the shelf cloud is going this way, and right where the inflow concentrates is right here. So there absolutely could be a wall cloud moving this way or moving more easterly. So toward Kirtland Hills, Chardon, Kirtland, right in this area here. It's probably rotating a little north and east, just based on the storm motion in that area there. Am I seeing any rotation I'm concerned about as far as a tornado goes? The answer is no. Okay, the answer is no. But you can get a lot of fun things. Just had a huge blast of wind in Euclid, South Euclid. Plenty of lightning and rain. Christopher Merritt sent me a picture of that wall cloud. Thank you. Don't forget to give me permission to use it and show it off. Pictures from Mentor on the way. Good. I love it. I can't show them here, but once I get on my Facebook page and we kind of see things after this has calmed down, I'll be able to share them with the viewers who are following me on Facebook. Black and Paynesville, wind just kicking up. Is there a severe thunderstorm warning in Avon Lake? Yes, there is, but I think the worst is Bayou. The worst is Bayou. Dark and windy here at home, says my lovely wife. Well, if there's anything that needs to be fastened down, Mary, I would recommend we kind of take care of that. If I've left any plants standing high on a shelf somewhere in the gazebo, we might want to put them down on the deck. We might want to put them down on the floor. Dark and thunder in Ashland. Is Lyndhurst in danger? Should we get to our safe spot? No, but again, you should be indoors. You got 50 to 60 mile an hour straight line winds coming your way. So again, if we're looking at some sort of wall cloud, it's going to be right in here, right near Kirtland, headed somewhere up toward, and maybe my wife will be able to see something that she can take a picture of. So there's Kirtland Hills, there's Mentor, and Concord Township is here. Hamden's up in here. You got Chardon, you got Painesville. So the wall cloud was sighted right in this area here. But again, we're not expecting anything tornadic. This is straight line winds right now. Okay. All right. Widen it out. We're not ignoring anybody. Still have our severe thunderstorm warning until 9 p.m. and it's 8:42. Do you notice the orange color over all of northern Ohio? Guess what that is? That's a heat advisory for tomorrow, not a extreme heat warning. So that's good. That's an improvement, but a heat advisory through 8 p.m. tomorrow for feels like temps between 100 and 104 degrees. So Willoughby Hills, you're getting some heavy rain, some very, very gusty winds, and 50 plus mile an hour winds. I would also say down around Parma, you're getting some really good winds moving in toward Parma. Strongsville to Hinckley, very heavy rain. Look at the choppiness of this line of storms now. These storms are forming near the gust front. So the gust front is now over Akron, Rittman. Here's the gust front right in here. And then you've got all of these storms that are firing just to the north of that boundary because that gust front's lifting the air and condensing and, you know, your water cycle doing all that. So that's why we're seeing those thunderstorms there. We've been on the air an hour and 26 minutes, and we still have an incredible amount of people with us. And I really appreciate you all. We're going to stay on at least until our severe thunderstorm threat is over. So now we have a special weather statement issued for Lake County and Geauga County, little portion of Portage and northern Summit County for wind gusts to 50 miles per hour. So the trend is for these storms to weaken, still packing a punch, but they're not going to issue severe thunderstorm warnings from here on out. Once these storms get out of Cuyahoga County, we'll be okay. But 50 mile an hour wind gusts possible for Lake, Ashtabula, Geauga, northern Summit, northern Portage County. And that pairs with our other special weather statement, not a severe thunderstorm warning, but almost there. Strong thunderstorm warning, if you will. A strong thunderstorm statement for 50 mile an hour wind gusts, especially along and near the gust front, which is now over Rittman, New Franklin, into downtown Akron, moving into Hayesville. But you've also got some feisty thunderstorms there forming as well. So quite an evening. The storms are moving out of Cleveland. Now we just have to get rid of this rain, Avon Lake to Lorain, and then they're going to be able to take the tarp off, get the field ready, and start that ball game again. All right, start the ball game again. So how many of you here are new to my social media storm tracking? Let me know if you are, because I love having you here. Love having you here. Love having all of you here. Really dark in Painesville Township. Thank you, Kathy. Let's get some new comments. Christina Reed, we got lightning now. Indeed. Power out near Boston Road, North Royalton. I'm not surprised. Not surprised. Maybe a tree branch came down on it. Will it end for the Guardians? Yes, it will, Jade. But it's going to be a little while before they start again. Mark, it's bad in Chesterland. Thank you, Christine. Stay safe. Power off and back on in Concord Township. Yeah, that wind gust is just moving in. The heavy rain hasn't moved in at all. All right, so let's show you the motion of these storms. If you're just joining me, severe thunderstorm warning out for Cuyahoga County, portions of Lorain County until 9 p.m., and we've got another 15 minutes for that. Bucyrus currently under severe thunderstorm warning, and that creeps into southwestern Huron County. But I think by the time the storms reach you in Huron County, they will be non-severe. So I'm not real worried about you folks in Willard. We do have some lightning, some thunder, some heavy rain, and some gusty winds to 50 miles per hour possible with any one of these storms that are coming through. Have had a couple of reports of a wall cloud, especially up here near downtown Cleveland, moving toward the east at about 40 to 50 miles per hour. All right, here's the leading edge of the storms now moving up into the Kirtland area, Kirtland Hills, Mentor, and these are pretty gusty, the winds. Let's show you the winds. Look at these wind gusts here. We can measure them for you. Yeah, let's get rid of that. We can measure them for you. 48, 47, 48. We're not going to have any 60-mile-an-hour gusts anymore. 47, 50. Now, right down here, 56. Getting close, Chagrin Falls. Getting close. Now, down in Solon, ooh, boy. We always have this, peak around Solon of these gusty winds. You got some higher terrain there. We get some radar artifacts. You can see some radar artifacts there. Just suffice it to say, we've got 50 to 60-mile-an-hour winds from Sagamore Hills to Solon to Macedonia. Technically, Solon is in that severe thunderstorm warning. I don't think we're seeing 72-mile-an-hour winds there. Don't think we are. Hopefully, we aren't. Let's check our reflectivity and make sure. Well, you know what? I mean, we got this little cell that's dropping into Solon right now, and it could be producing 60-plus mile-an-hour winds. But Solon, if you're in Solon right now, it's got to be super windy with some heavy rain moving in. Am I right? Anybody in Solon? Should I report? Hold on. Should I report to the basement, Sam? No, you're good. Just be indoors, all right? We got lightning now. Yes. Showed that one. Hearing thunder for the first time here in Mentor. My wife says it's just started raining in Lake County. Not as windy now. Excellent. Gates Mills has heavy rain, some lightning with heavy winds. Awesome. First timer from Strasburg, Joan. Everybody say hello to Joan. We thank you for being here, Joan. I hope you'll continue to trust us with your severe weather and your weather in general. Heavy rain, thunder, and lightning in downtown Willoughby. Is there any rain? Is there any severe weather coverage on 3 News? No, Sam, because we're doing that right here. We don't break into programming unless it's a tornado warning. Okay, we want you to be able to watch your shows. We'll run the crawl for you, and then you'll have to come to places like this for your weather information, unless there's a tornado warning. Thank you very much, Mary. Appreciate it. Wind in Northfield. Raining by Hopkins. Got dark and windy in Wadsworth. Just now getting thunder in Rocky River. Okay. Solon is getting rocked with wind. Okay. So Solon, we just looked at some winds there, and some pixels show 70 mile an hour. We at least have 60 mile an hour winds there. Okay. Thank you, Billy. Nice to have you, man. Perfect. All right, Donald is new here from Jackson, Ohio, southeastern Ohio. Love it, Donald. Appreciate you being here. Everybody say hi to Donald. Dave is first-timer from Lakewood. Love it that you're here. Perfect. Thank you, Lynn. Appreciate that. Okay, I'm just checking. All right, Drew is new from Lorraine. Love it. Thank you for being here, Drew. Don't forget to share this so all your friends and family get the word. We've been on for an hour and 33 minutes tracking severe thunderstorms. We've got some pretty high winds right now in the Solon area, blasting through Solon. We're going to have those 50-plus mile-an-hour winds moving into Lake and Geauga County. They're doing that now. Summit County getting some good winds near Twinsburg. Aurora, Bainbridge, Newbury, you're going to be next. We're almost ready to sound the all clear. Definitely Lorain County, it's all clear for high winds. At 9 p.m., the severe thunderstorm warning is going to expire for Cuyahoga County. We'll go down the line here. We got newly developed thunderstorms. Rittman, Wadsworth, West Salem, Ashland, Hayesville, Mansfield, they're coming your way. These are feisty thunderstorms near Galleon, Crestline, Ontario. They're moving in toward Mansfield. All right, moving into Richland County right now. Let's check on some of these winds. All right, right now they're not showing strong winds, just some very, very heavy rainfall. We got the really gusty winds up along this gust front. And folks, You don't need me to draw this for you. You know where the gust front is. You know where it is. Here it is, Chardon, just past Newbury, moving into Streetsboro right now, moving into downtown Akron, just out of Wadsworth and Rittman, almost into Marshallville and Orville. That's the gust front. That's the high winds produced from the thunderstorms pushing east-southeast out ahead of the main line. And the gust front itself, it's not really going to be raining near the gust front, but it could be producing 50 to 60 mile an hour winds there. So there's the gust front. Now, if I turn on the reflectivity, you can see a lot of the rain is behind the gust front. We are seeing some showers and storms popping near the front. All right. And those are going to be the strongest from here on out. The strongest from here on out. Okay. There they are. Put it into motion, and I'm going to get rid of my drawing. Storms firing, Western Ohio, and funneling east with some very heavy rain, some wind gusts to 60 miles per hour, some sporadic reports of damage. You folks have been telling me that you have some power outages. You've heard of some power outages where you are. Okay. Hartville, George, new from Hartville. Love having you here. Reminderville, windy. My parents live over there. Yes, indeed. When the storm came ashore at Edgewater, the wind gusts were throwing sand over the beach house. Wow. Okay. Thank you, Chris. That's some 60 mile an hour winds that came on shore, maybe a bit higher. Looking nasty in Orville. On the turnpike, and this wind is tossing us all over the road, just past the 480, 14 exits. So you're near Twinsburg. And it's dark and debris flying everywhere. So you have those super fast winds, straight line winds coming in right now. Bill, how are you in Lorraine? Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay, a few more minutes up for the severe thunderstorm. All right, we got a brand new severe thunderstorm warning right here. Right here. Just popped on. There it is. Until 9:30, 60 mile an hour wind gusts, radar indicated. 60 mile an hour wind gusts. And this would be for, this is Wayne County, Richland County, Ashland County. Severe thunderstorm warning until 9:30 p.m. And these are the storms that have formed along the gust front where the best energy is available. Where the best energy is available. So let's run you up through and let's track some of these storms. We just kind of looked at them. We looked at some of the winds here. Let's look at them again. All right. So one more time, here's your gust front, which is scooping up the moist, humid air and forming these thunderstorms behind them. I'm looking for high wind speeds right now. And I'll zoom on in so we can get a little closer look. So where are the highest pixels? There's 38, 32. And again, this is starting to shoot up a little high. There's 41 and 45, but they're outside the warning. So the wind gusts here, I think we're anticipating these storms to start to pulse and then to produce some serious winds because that's kind of what's happened. So Jeromesville, Hayesville, New Pittsburgh, I'm not seeing any super high winds there as of now, but I would watch in Worcester. I would watch Blatchleyville Road, County Road 37. I would watch South Columbus Road, Millbrook Road, Hale Road, Old Lincoln Way, West. Okay, watch out. Route 30 from Worcester all the way through Hayesville and Jeromesville. That corridor there, you're going to get real gusty in a hurry. So you got Ashland Road, you got Overton Road here, way up here. All of these areas here, expect the winds to come in within the next 10 minutes or so. And once these thunderstorms start to drop, they're producing heavy rain now, and that heavy rain is going to begin to pull down some strong winds from aloft in those thunderstorms. And when those winds hit the ground, you're going to begin to see, again, Blatchleyville Road, Lincoln Way, West, Route 30, Columbus Road. You're going to begin to see winds close to those areas really start to howl. Just checking here, the latest. We're getting some things coming in. There you go. So we got some super strong winds that are probably going to drop here in the next 10 to 15 minutes across portions of Wayne County, Ashland and Richland counties. Keep an eye out for those. I don't see them yet. Doesn't mean they're not there, but your stronger winds are back here. Chardon, holy mackerel. Well, Chardon, I'd watch out in Chardon right now. Chardon, I know you're not under a severe thunderstorm warning at this moment in time, but you got some very, very strong winds right here. This says near 70 miles per hour. Moving into Chardon right now. Anybody in Chardon? Can you confirm what's going on? Aquila. Anyone there in Geauga? Hamden. Anybody in Hamden Township? Can you confirm what's going on? Burton, Chardon, Kirtland Hills. Tell me what you're seeing right now. Reflectivity. There's the leading edge of your thunderstorms. There's something going on in Chardon right now that's producing some serious winds. This thunderstorm may be collapsing. And so we're getting the strong winds going down to the ground. Okay, new severe thunderstorm warning just issued for Holmes County, Richland County. That's the one we just checked. New severe thunderstorm warning for Lake and Geauga. Huh, guess what? The one we just showed you. There you go, folks. How's that? We're just talking about it, and the new severe thunderstorm warning issued until 9:45, 60-mile-an-hour winds, but I'm telling you, they could be stronger. They could be stronger. We just looked moments ago at the radar, and now we have a severe thunderstorm warning issued. And that severe thunderstorm warning, once again, for Lake and Geauga County goes until 9:45. And I'm telling you, here's where I'm worried about. Chardon, Newbury, Burton, Middlefield, Troy Township, Hamden. Chardon and Hamden and Aquila, look out. I mean, that's some serious winds right in here, folks. Right in here. Some very serious winds. I'm going to storm relative velocity here. Okay. Going to storm relative just for fun, just because I want to see what's going on. All right. 41 miles per hour. That's toward the radar. Okay. Serious winds. Look at in here. We're getting 67. We're getting 67 mile per hour winds here. Right into downtown Chardon, Chardon Square right now. Tell me what's going on in Chardon right now. Please, somebody post a comment. Look at how many of you are with us. Is there no one in Geauga County? Is there no one near Aquila, Chardon, Hamden, Burton, Middlefield? Tell me what happened in, tell me what's happening in Hudson right now. What's going on in Hudson? We're getting some, again, our radar is suggesting we got 50 to 60 mile an hour winds near Hudson, Streetsboro, Twinsburg, Boston Heights, Cuyahoga Falls, Stowe. Look out. The gust front is by you. You had 40, 50 mile an hour winds with the gust front, and now I'm a little concerned about this stuff here showing up as yellow. Let me know. Let me know. Severe storm warning for Lake County right now. Is that because of Chardon? Yeah, that's because of Chardon. We're north of Chardon Square in Hamden. It's lightning and the trees are bending bad. Okay, Diane, stay with me. Stay with me on this. I want to know when that 70 mile an hour wind gust gets there, okay? Strong winds and thunderstorms in Barberton. Okay, good. I mean, not good, but this is good ground truth here. So here's Barberton. Strong winds here. See those bright pink areas? You're looking at 50-plus mile an hour winds near Barberton, West Akron, coming into downtown, into the Merriman Valley. Cuyahoga Falls, it's surrounding you. Same for Stowe, Streetsboro. It's coming your way. You got 40 to 50 mile an hour wind gusts sliding in to the greater Akron area, Cuyahoga Falls, Kent, Ravenna. You got the gust front coming in with 40-plus, 50 mile an hour wind gusts there. And then something's going on back here, Hudson to Streetsboro. Is anybody there who can tell me what's going on? Winds are finally hitting Cuyahoga Falls. Okay. Cuyahoga Falls, the shutters are coming off the brick house. Ouch. How long will it last in Lake County? Well, the warning goes until 9:45. The warning goes until 9:45. Beverly here is here from Strongsville. How are you? Cindy is in Geneva. You're going to get some rain. What about Shelby, Ohio? Well, Shelby, Ohio, back here, we were just back there. Shelby's northern Richland County back here. Shelby, you got some storms around you. The worst of it is to your south in Shelby. You got some thunderstorms here, but those are fading away. If you drive to Galleon, Mansfield, that's where your severe weather is for now. Shelby, not under a severe thunderstorm warning. Ashland, you're under a severe thunderstorm warning. Worcester, you're under a severe thunderstorm warning. No severe thunderstorm warning, but strong storms. Rittman to Doylestown into Barberton. Very, very gusty winds there, close to the gust front. And then we have this monster up here in Chardon, moving into Hamden right now. We got to keep an eye on these winds. Now shifting into Hamden. Okay, Chardon, Hamden, Aquila, Chardon, Windsor Road, Mayfield Road. This is in Geauga County. Madison Road, that's Route 528. Leggett Road, Rock Creek Road. I think that's 167, I think. Route 44, North State Avenue, moving in toward Middlefield. What are you seeing here in Hamden right now? Got to know. What's going on in Hamden? What about Shelby? We talked about Shelby. Manaway, winds are blowing. Okay, love it, love it, love it. I'm in Mogador right now. It is coming down. That means high winds and heavy rain. Okay, Middlefield has tons of wind. Yeah, absolutely. Sliding down that gust front your way. What about Brecksville? I have family there. Brecksville's out of the worst of it. Brecksville, you had yours. You had your heavier stuff. There's Brecksville. All right, Brecksville, you've had your heavier stuff. Now it's just rain, some gusty winds, but you're out of the severe thunderstorm warning for Cuyahoga County and Lorain County has expired. No longer under a threat for severe weather. Promise you. You're done for the day. Now, tomorrow, I can't guarantee. All right. So our current severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 9:45 for Lake and Geauga counties, parts of Ashtabula County. Little chunk of Trumbull County north, 60-mile-an-hour winds. And the concern is right here near Chardon and Hamden. That's the concern. That's the big burst of wind. We also have severe thunderstorm warnings in effect until 9:30 for Wayne County, Ashland, and Richland counties for 60-mile-an-hour winds. Downtown Akron's getting hammered with very, very heavy rain. Let's check on Akron. You got some gusty winds. You got 55-mile-an-hour winds now over the Portage Lakes. Concerned about what's going on here behind the gust front. Again, it continues to show what looks to be some strong winds just blasting out now. But again, that may be a little aloft, but I guarantee you some of those strong winds are getting close to the ground. You're close to 50-plus mile-an-hour winds, Hudson to Streetsboro, Cuyahoga Falls. Probably not 60 or 70, but we'll wait and see. Those are strong wind signatures, but again, they may be a little aloft. You definitely know something's going down here. Now it's over Hamden. It is screaming to the east. It's moving toward Hartsgrove in Ashtabula County, Trumbull Township, Windsor Township, Ashtabula County. State Route 534 out of Geneva from Trumbull to Windsor. You got a blast of wind heading your way that could be 60 to 70 miles per hour. Hamden, what's going on? Are you guys okay? Chardon, are you guys okay? Let me know. How is Connie out Monroe Township, Pierpont looking? Right now, you're looking like rain and thunder, nothing severe. Cuyahoga Falls, low clouds mixing some winds, strong lightning to the south. Love it. Weather station in Brook Park said 60 mile an hour with a 70 mile an hour wind gust. I believe it. Huntsburg, power outage, Geauga. Okay, Huntsburg Township. Guess where Huntsburg is? Yeah, it's close to this monster wind. Wow. There's Hartsgrove. That's Ashtabula County. Chardon, Aquila, Burton, Hamden. Now look at that wind spread out. and I'm concerned here. Again, this may be slightly elevated 72-mile-an-hour winds. Near the ground, though, 50 to 60. 50 to 60. Loving all of you here. Holy mackerel. My sister is driving towards Chardon. She says it's insane. Folks, this is bad news right here. This is doing damage right now. This wind is destroying things. Right here in Hamden. Right here in Geauga County, about ready to move into Ashtabula County, Hartsgrove, Windsor, Orwell, Roaming Shores, Colebrook, Lenox, Trumbull, Dad, Kelly, Mindy, Lenox. Strong winds coming your way. Mesopotamia, West Farmington, that's the gust front. So you got a lot of inflow right in here. You got winds blowing in right in here. And this is where your gust front begins. It wraps out this way and drops down here. But it's the origin of the gust front is right here. So this is a rotating mesocyclone. It's what we call it. Not tornado. It's a rotating mesocyclone. And this is the origin. And right now that mesocyclone is kind of collapsing. And it is producing some super strong winds. In Geauga County, about ready to move into Ashtabula County. Right now. Right now. Folks, I'm concerned about Chardon and Hamden, Burton, concerned about Aurora, downtown Akron getting hammered right now. Tell me what's going on in Barberton and Akron and Lakemore and Mogadore. What's going on in Talmadge? Because right now I'm showing a ton of heavy rain. And we're showing some very, very strong winds. Okay, there's your gust front right there. North Lawrence, Canal Fulton, City of Green, Uniontown, Suffield, Rootstown, Charlestown, Garrettsville. That's the leading edge. That's 40 to 50 mile an hour winds too. So what's going on in Summit County? Let me know, because on radar, it looks nasty. Then we have our severe thunderstorm warning here in the Worcester area until 9:30, New Pittsburgh, Jeromesville, Hayesville, Mifflin, Mansfield. You got heavy rain. Do you have the high wind gusts right now? Starting to show some wind near Smithville, showing a little tiny little spin right there in Perrysville, right there. But I'm not concerned about it at this moment in time. No. Okay. All right. So serious severe weather ongoing right now. Look at that line of strong to severe storms. Lexington to Mansfield, Hayesville, Jeromesville, New Pittsburgh, up just to the northwest of Worcester. It's coming your way, Worcester. Rittman, Doylestown, heavy rain, gusty winds. Barberton, Akron, Portage Lakes, Mogadore, Lakemore, Suffield, Talmadge, Brimfield, Cuyahoga Falls. Dry currently in Ravenna, but hold on. It's coming your way. Then we slide up to Manaway. You got some heavy rain there, some gusty winds to 40 miles per hour. Then we look at this monster cell, this rotating supercell, this mesocyclone, Chardon to Hartsgrove right here. Harpersfield, can't ignore you. Look at this. What's your velocity doing? Strong winds, and that's a little supercell rotating mesocyclone there. But look at this blast. It's now crossing into Ashtabula County, Chardon Windsor Road. It's now moving into, let's see what that says. Hyde Road, Stoneville Road, Wiswell Road, Huntley Road, Mayfield Road, just to your north. There's Plank Road as it meets Chardon Windsor Road. Huntley Road. This is 60 to 70 mile an hour winds showing on the radar. Could be slightly aloft because it's getting farther and farther from the radar. But let me tell you, this was showing back here coming out of Kirtland Hills. We were talking about it as it was moving towards Chardon, and then all of a sudden, boom, out came the warning. So these are some serious winds to be reckoned with, and that continues. So it moved from Kirtland. It's kind of started right in here. Kirtland Hills, Chardon. And again, the 70 mile an hour winds might not be reaching the ground, but you know, just underneath that, you're 60 plus. You're 60 plus. So tell me what you're seeing, where you are. Tell me what you're seeing. We're hanging out. We've been on the air officially an hour and 54 minutes. We have a huge amount of folks with us. Stark County. Thunderstorm warning until 9:45. Let's go down. Let's go down to Stark. Columbia Station, 55 mile per hour winds before. Scott and Amy, give us a shout out. All right, Scott and Amy, Columbia Station, you're in. Okay, brand new severe thunderstorm warnings. They've issued a blanket severe thunderstorm warning for this entire area here. This is why, look, all of these bright areas here that we've been tracking, and we're asking, wait, if we're seeing 70 plus mile per hour winds in these yellow areas, it's at least 60 at the ground. So here you are, brand new severe thunderstorm warning. We've been tracking these problem areas, and now the warnings are out. This is until 9:45, 60 plus mile an hour winds. By the way, let me know when the Guardians start to prepare the field, okay? We got northern Trumbull County, northern Geauga, Lake County, western Ashtabula County for the one severe thunderstorm warning. We're going to get another one in here too. So here's this one. This is brand new. Trumbull County, Portage County, western Mahoning County, southern Geauga County, southeastern Medina County, northern Stark County, Summit County, and northern Wayne County. That's a big old polygon for all of this nasty wind stuff, and most concentrated right here at Kent and Ravenna. Anybody in Kent and Ravenna right now? Tell me what's going on in Kent and Ravenna. Rootstown, Brimfield, what's going on? Shalersville, Freedom, Garrettsville. I am seeing a huge amount of wind. Streetsboro, tell me what's going on. Portage Lakes, you're getting blasted with some pretty strong winds. But in these areas of yellow, there's a concern that these are the strongest winds. Strongest winds. Boom. Severe thunderstorm warnings all along the line. There it is. And there's our blast that's up here now over Windsor. It's now into Ashtabula County. Windsor headed into Orwell. That's where we're seeing the strongest winds. If you can share some insight, what's happening at ground level, I'm looking at pretty colors on radar. I really appreciate it when you folks let me know what's going on in your world, because it helps with ground truth. There's your high winds. Woof. Severe thunderstorm warnings up the entire line now. From Lexington, Mansfield, all the way up through Ashland, Akron, Orrville, now Canton, you're included in a warning. Akron, you're in it. All the way up through Twinsburg, Middlefield, Chardon. Good news is Cleveland is out. Now we got a new severe weather report here. Large tree down blocking Stone Road, which also fell on primary power lines. Uh-oh. Hey, remember we mentioned Stone Road when we were chatting a few minutes ago about strong winds moving that way? We mentioned Stone Road. Kaboom, right there. A gust front goes by. The good news is we're almost dry in Cleveland. We're almost dry. You got a couple of showers back to the west, but, you know, man, let's hope we can fade these out. The main line's moving through. The sun is going down. We should lose a lot of this rain back here. We should lose a lot of this rain. Okay. All right, let's go back to some comments. Look at how many folks are here. There's a ton. Cuyahoga Falls, Peninsula. Leave me your comments too, folks. Yeah, looked up and clouds and trees were strongly moving and rotating. Wow. Hopefully no damage. North Canton getting dark, starting to lightning. Awesome. Got lightning alert 15 minutes from me in Ashtabula. Okay. I'm going on the storm. Solon was crazy. Tweeted me pics. Perfect. Thank you. And once we're done with this feed here, we're going to, I'm going to go down and check all my feeds and start posting some images for you. Going back, coming up. Going back, coming up. I'll put it into motion so everybody can see where they are. We have a ton of people here. There we go. We're over 1,000 viewers right now. Look at all these severe thunderstorm warnings that are out from Ashtabula, Jefferson, all the way down the line through Mansfield. We have all these severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, and they all expire before 9:45. Let's see. Please, if you're just joining me here, tell me who you are. You can comment. I can share your comment. Tell me what the weather is. Tell me what kind of severe weather you experienced right now. Ask questions. Beautiful sunset in Sheffield Lake. Okay. So you got a sunset. That means skies are brightening up. Jennifer says, got to go find my deck umbrella. Wow. Big old boom of lightning in Lenox. The wind is really blowing. Okay. Yep. Still watching from Saybrook. Awesome. Tammy says it's raining in Geneva. Here's a YouTube comment. Middlefield thunderstorms overnight. Things should drastically quiet down tonight. Do you see any of these storms in Stark producing tornadoes? The answer is no. The answer is no. But strong straight line winds? Yes. Canton, Ohio, starting to lightning. Sorry, I can't talk. Raining like crazy in Goshen Township in Mahoning County. Thank you for being here. Dark and windy in Chagrin Falls. Tornado sirens going off in Norton and Summit County. Okay, let's go and check on Norton in Summit County. Okay, we've got official wind gust reports that are coming in. Okay, I'm going to look first of all at our velocity. So look at all this wind here. This is a huge amount of wind. If I put a cursor on these are 60 to 70 mile an hour wind gusts here. Maybe just above the surface, but folks, if this reaches the surface, this is going to do a lot of damage here. Here's a wind report. Brecksville, tree down into a house on Summerwind Drive. All right, up here towards Seven Hills. Bring it on down. Large tree down Stone Road. We had that one. Okay. Look at 60 mile an hour wind gust measured, 58 mile per hour wind gust in Fairlawn. Okay, Fairlawn. We got other wind gusts coming in. There's a report. 60 mile an hour wind measured in Barberton. Yep. Let's see. Let's see what our winds are doing down toward Worcester. All right. Up in here, look at all of this wind. Charlestown, Ravenna, Brady Lake, Rootstown, Suffield, Randolph Township. What's happening there? What's happening in Akron right now? Portage Lake, City of Green. Tell me, Canal Fulton, North Canton. The gust front is moving through you right now. Look at the high winds. Let's check. Look at the gust front here. Sliding into Bristol, Champion. This is in Trumbull County. But then you got strong winds behind it near Nelson's Ledges, Windham, Braceville, Parkman, West Farmington. Tell me what the winds are like. Now, here's that wind gust we were seeing near Orwell, beginning to fade a little bit. But that's the beginning of our gust front. The gust front starts right here in this little mesocyclone rotation, and it's all the way down here. It slides all the way down this way. And then you got storms behind it, popping. Got to make sure I'm not missing any Guardians questions here, okay? Okay. Guardians want to know how long the rain's going to last here. So we're going to try and go back here and look. It's drying out, but we got some showers to the west, and I want to see those really, really fade. I really want to see those go away. They're trying to fill in a little bit. I think it's going to be a while before we can pull that tarp and get the game going again. Yeah. I'm telling you, if you're going to the 7-10 game tomorrow night, we could have, more thunderstorms impacting the game. Sunday is a 1:10 start. The 3 News weather team is supposed to be at the game on Sunday. So if you're there, make sure you text, tweet, you let us know you're there, and we'll try and give you a quick shout out. But Sunday's game may be impacted as well. So look at how many folks we have with us. I'm amazed. I'm appreciative. You guys are all fantastic. Okay, Middlefield border, crazy windy, power flickering. This is what I would expect. Lightning 8 miles from Ashtabula. Very dark sky, northeast end of Canton. Tornado in Worcester. Hold on. Let's go down to the Worcester area. What are you seeing in Worcester that would make you think there's a tornado? Let's check it out. You do have some interesting features there. Let's check out our velocities. That's straight line winds there. Pretty gusty, 40 plus. Let's check out our storm relative velocity. As if the storms were standing still, what would the winds be doing? This is where we would look for our red and green. Not seeing it. It's very unlikely you're going to get a tornado to form behind a gust front. All right. So here's your gust front. It's all straight line winds. It's very unlikely. I mean, it's possible there could be a weak spin up, weak funnel perhaps, but I'm not seeing anything here that tells me you've got rotation at this moment in time. All right. Does that help? Hopefully. So, boom, no rotation there. Watching up here near Colebrook, no real rotation there. Jefferson getting some pretty strong winds. Still some super strong winds. Roaming Shores, Orwell, Colebrook. Look at this wind gust just out of Garrettsville, near Southington. It's moving into Trumbull County, outside our viewing area, but we love having the folks from Trumbull and Mahoning County here. We had a tornado spin up west of Worcester. Bryce, how do you know that? Please. Swirling winds on a gust front are very, very common. Okay? Very, very common. I'm not doubting you here, but you got to tell me what you know and what you saw, and if there's pictures of this and if it did any damage, because this looks like a straight line wind event with a huge gust front and a lot of swirling wind under that gust front. And, terrain can interrupt that swirling horizontal wind and twist it a little bit, but tornadoes are not likely. Not likely. Tried to mow the lawn in Rittman before the downpour started. Already have trees down from earlier storm. That's right, you had one earlier. Lots of wind, raining hard in Hartville. Have video of it, definitely a funnel. Okay, Bryce, how can you get that to me so that I can see it and share it? Michelle says, I saw that too. It's possible. I want to see the video and then we'll be able to tell. Can you put it on a DM on my Facebook page? That would be cool. Love to see it, man, because if you did have a funnel cloud, we're going to report it and you're going to be the man. Storming hard in West Ashland County, Ohio. Awesome. That's from our YouTube channel. I'm in North Worcester and it's just raining with lightning. Okay. Yeah, send it on Messenger, Bryce. I want to see it. Very, very possible. Definitely had strong wind gusts in Cuyahoga Falls about 20 minutes ago. Does Stone Creek have any concerns for severe storms? Well, let's see. Stone Creek, I think you're out of it. We're going down here to Stone Creek. I think since the severe storms are pretty much the leading edge of these storms are down in southern Richland and Ashland counties, I think you're okay. I think you're okay in Stone Creek. I really do. I think you're really okay. Boom, boom, boom. Did you notice, too, that we have a brand new heat advisory that was just issued? Okay? Heat advisory issued for tomorrow through 8 p.m. Through 8 p.m. tomorrow for feels like temps between 100 and 105. All right, we got a brand new severe thunderstorm warning. Let's see. New severe thunderstorm warning for Ashtabula and Trumbull counties. It's probably for this portion of this. Yep, right here. It's for this portion of this thunderstorm that produced all that wind in the Chardon area. So now we have Ashtabula and a little tiny sliver of Trumbull County in a severe thunderstorm warning. But folks, and that's till 10:15. But it's really for this area over Jefferson. That's where we're seeing the strongest winds. I'll show you the velocity. Well, we're seeing some in Roaming Shores too. So I stand corrected. All the way down, Orwell, Roaming Shores, Colebrook. All the way down, Roaming Shores, Colebrook. Okay? All right. So we're going to go back to our super res velocity and we're going to play this loop and we're going to talk about the severe thunderstorm warnings. The newest severe thunderstorm warning until 10:15, Ashtabula County, the eastern half for 60-mile-an-hour radar indicated winds. We still currently have our severe thunderstorm warning for Ashtabula and a little portion of Geauga County till 9:45 for 60-mile-an-hour winds. Now, all of these counties down here, you got Trumbull, you got Southern Geauga, you got Summit, you got Portage, you got portions of Stark and Wayne counties, all under a severe thunderstorm warning until 9:45 for 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. And down here, Wayne County, Richland County, Ashland County, you've got a severe thunderstorm warning until 9:30 for 60-mile-an-hour winds. Now, I don't want you to go anywhere. I want you to stay right here. But I'm going to I got to shout something down to a couple of my colleagues. It's going to take me about 60 seconds. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to come right back, I promise, and we'll continue to track. In the meantime, watch this. I've got a couple of items about weather I have to take care of real quick, and then I'm coming right back. Stay with me. Yeah, we'll probably be on late, folks. Okay, thanks. All right, we're back. Promised. Oh, I only lost a few of you. That's good. Still, how many? I love having y'all here. I love having y'all here. Fireworks have been canceled in Avon Lake, Ohio. Okay, sorry about that, folks. For those of you who are hoping to see fireworks tonight, yeah, I think that's tough. Okay. Have Kent's fireworks been canceled? Anybody have insight on that? Can anybody show what's going on there? Neighbors are setting off fireworks. Okay. Tree down. Missed the car by a few feet in Huntsburg. Wow, Geauga County. Thank you. Somebody's doing fireworks. Okay. Streetsboro, light rain, winds have died down. Okay, that's good. That means the worst is by you. Yeah, I think there'll be a lot of rescheduled fireworks tonight. Winds and rain picking up in Alliance. You can see the evolution of these severe thunderstorms. Anything to watch for in Akron tonight? No. What's happening now is these severe thunderstorms, this line of storms that's coming through is basically scouring out, pardon me, scouring out our atmosphere. So it's clearing out a lot of the instability, and it's going to take it a while to recharge. It could easily recharge tomorrow. It should recharge tomorrow, and then we'll have to deal with some more showers and storms. Timing of storms tomorrow, location of storms tomorrow, way up in the air, too early to tell. Way too early to tell. Hey, Mark, why is some lightning pink instead of bright white? Well, it might be the atmosphere or the clouds that it's shooting through. Well, Sam, I hope your virus gets better, buddy. We're all praying for you, man. Dark clouds to the north, winds picking up in Canton. Okay. Got trees down across the street and down the road in Madisonburg, north end of Worcester. Okay, we're getting reports from Wayne County that those storms are producing wind damage. Storms haven't stopped the neighbors' fireworks in Menor. Not letting up in Worcester. Wind picked up in East Canton. How much longer do you think will the storm go? It depends on where you live. I mean, the sun's gone down now, so that's going to help. But you still have some leftover rain. I know the Guardians want to take that tarp off pretty soon, but we got rain showers to the west that we got to get rid of first. They're playing again. Wow. They are playing again. White Sox 3-1. It says it's delayed. Wait, when did they score 3? I thought we were up 1-0. Okay. They got 3 in the top of the 5th, and then the game was delayed. Okay, that stinks. Sorry about that, Guards. They're still not playing yet. It's going to be a little while, folks. There's your evolution of these storms. I want to go down here to Worcester real quick, and let's chat about what's going on here, because we have had some reports of some trees coming down near Worcester right there. We can see some velocities. Yeah, I mean, you can see East Union to Oroville. You got some bright pink colors there. North Canton, getting into some very gusty winds. New severe thunderstorm warning. Let's see where that one's coming from. Okay. New severe thunderstorm warning until 10:15 for Stark, Mahoning. They're just blanket issuing now for everybody else. So there's a new severe, everyone in the Cleveland area, warned area is going to be warned for severe thunderstorms. So now you have 60-mile-an-hour plus winds, severe thunderstorm warning for Mahoning County and portions of Stark right there. And then we're going to go south. So now you've got Holmes County in there and the rest of Stark County and more of Wayne County. So they've canceled it for the Mansfield area and Ashland. So everybody under severe thunderstorm warnings now. Basically, on a line from Ashtabula County down through Akron, down through the Worcester area. These are brand new. Okay? These are brand new. Well, my friend Beth McLeod just texted me saying, good stuff online. Beth, thanks for listening in. Anytime you want to join, just let me know and I'll send you an invite and you can join. Any other meteorologists out there who are watching who want to join the stream and add insight and fun facts and things like that, please, I'll send you an invite. Here's the super res. Bring it on back. So your strongest cells are Warren to Alliance to near Canton to Worcester right now, okay? So is the Guardians game canceled? I don't know that yet. So Beth McLeod is reporting this, and this is fascinating stuff, and this is a safety note here. My neighbor was driving down Route 44 during the storm, and this is Beth McLeod talking, former on-air meteorologist, always a meteorologist, former on-air, during the storm, and an electrical wire came down on their car. The police had surrounded their car and are waiting for them to make sure the power is out before they let them out. This is so important. If a power line falls down on your car, do not leave the car, because as soon as you get out and touch the ground, you could be electrocuted. You're being protected by the rubber on your tires. So that's fascinating. Beth, that is phenomenal. Thank you for sharing that. Beth McLeod, everybody. Still no tornado possibilities? No. Kaylee, no. We're good with tornadoes. It's just gusty high winds. Can you show what's going to happen in Wayne County? Wayne County, you got that stuff over Worcester and moving into Shreve. It's moving over you right now. You got 50+ mile-an-hour winds possible. and very heavy rainfall. It's all straight line winds, folks. Had some hail in Jefferson. Was it pea-sized hail? Lots of wind and lightning in Orville. Raining in North Canton. Awesome. Till that humidity after the rain hits. Right. Thank you, Kate. Guardians game is delayed currently. Right on. They're down 3-1. I'd like it to be canceled, to be honest. Start over tomorrow so that we can start over 0-0. Or they may just play early tomorrow and finish. Just heard some shooting off fireworks. People are going to shoot off fireworks. They really are. Okay. Wind just got here in Berlin Lake. Very strong sustained winds. Rain coming in now, too. Very insane. Love all of my Facebook followers and love all of my YouTube commenters and watchers on YouTube. Avon Crushers game and fireworks canceled. Ah. How strong is the wind in southwest Wayne County? Well, if there's some trees coming down, it's 50 to 60. Hartville just beginning to rain and hard too. North Canton's community showing of Hamilton has been rescheduled for 7-8 at the Civic Center. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thunder is very rumbly and rolling and sounds suspiciously like fireworks. Perfect. Love your comments, by the way. Why is there so little rotation in a storm like this? Well, remember, for rotation, you need winds to veer in direction as you go up in height. And a lot of these winds, as you go up in height, are blowing in the same direction or practically in the same direction. They're all coming in from the west. So unless you take a thunderstorm and build it up through a column where the winds at different 1,000-foot levels are blowing in different directions, then you're not going to have the spin. Just a little spin here and there, but not enough to produce a tornado. And we've seen a couple of reports of wall clouds. We've seen some suspicious areas of I'm not going to say rotation, but we do know that a couple of these cells are mesocyclones. So they're sitting there and just gradually spinning. But the winds aloft are blowing all in the same direction, virtually, okay? So you're not going to have, you need those winds to be blowing in different directions at all levels of the atmosphere and rotating that thunderstorm as it pushes up through the column of air. It's rotating because the winds are all blowing it in different directions, okay? Hopefully that helps. Hopefully that helps. Letting up in Worcester. Yay. Wi-Fi went out using a hotspot from phone. Nice. Now that's dedication. That is super dedicated when you use the Wi-Fi hotspot so you can continue watching the stream. Neighbors are going nuts with fireworks in Beulah, of course. It's fireworks in Lakewood. Yeah, fireworks all around now. Tyler, how are you? 14. I want to be a meteorologist and I want to better storms. Is there any way of helping? Tyler, join here. Tyler, you can email me or have your parents DM me on Facebook and maybe we can set up a visit for you to come in. But when you do, when you join me on events like this and you comment and you ask cool questions, we get to know each other a little bit, and that's what's really awesome. Calming down in Ashland, still have power. Oh, I don't want anyone to lose AC in this humidity. No way. Had a power glitch at Apple Creek. Okay, so there's the current status. The storms are pushing south. We've got severe thunderstorm warnings that will go until 10:45. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to stick with you for much longer simply because I've got to get ready for a newscast that will eventually come on later. Okay, hopefully at 11. Hopefully at 11. So we're watching these storms now. I'm going to go through them one more time. Here's the severe thunderstorm warning until 10:15 for Ashtabula County for 60-mile-an-hour winds. The severe thunderstorm warning on this side of Ashtabula and Jefferson, on the west side of Route 11, there's nothing severe there left, so that's bogus. We have Trumbull County, we have Mahoning County, we have Portage, Southern Summit, all of Stark, Wayne County, and Holmes County, and a little bit of southern Ashland County under severe thunderstorm warnings that will expire between 10 and 10:45 p.m. And they're all for 60-mile-an-hour winds. So we're going to go up the line. And where are the strongest wind gusts right now? They're right here. They're blowing through Deerfield and Alliance. They're blowing through Ellsworth and Canfield and Mahoning County. They're in Warren and Niles. They're up toward Kinsman. Even the wind near Pierpont now is fading away quite a bit, probably less than 50 miles per hour. So your strongest winds are pulling out of Portage County now quickly, headed down towards Salem and Homeworth. Canton, you're getting into some pretty gusty winds. But at this time, I'm not seeing the 60 to 70 mile an hour winds like we were seeing farther north. Hartville, still very, very strong winds. And all of these are sliding east-southeast at around 45 miles per hour. So we have some pretty strong winds out there. We're going to stay on for a few more minutes, and then I'm going to have to let you go. We got some showers that are still off to the west, and I'm sure that's why they're holding off on the Guardians, whether they're going to restart it or not. I'm just looking. My buddy Frank, he's an avid weather watcher. He says that storm around Loudonville looks, I think he's talking about this one right here. He's probably talking about, here's Loudonville. He's probably talking about this one around Shreve. So if we go in on this one real fast, gusty winds there. Let's check out our storm relative velocity. All right. It's straight line winds there. Straight line winds. Bubbling up, Shreve, Worcester, Apple Creek, East Union, Orville, Dalton, North Lawrence, Canal Fulton. There's North Canton, almost into Canton now. Marlborough Township, Lexington, Alliance, you're getting some heavy rain. Deerfield, heavy rain. Farther north, clearing out in Akron, just some leftover rain. Any rain that's going to come in from the west into Cleveland is going to be very, very light. Those showers should be fading pretty quickly. I'm showing you the evolution over the last 2 hours, maybe 3. We've been on the air 2 hours and 27 minutes on this feed, which is absolutely amazing that you've all been here. Tomorrow is big fireworks at Guardians game, but not going to go now. Might get rained out too. No, Chickbait, I would go because we don't know when it's coming. We'll know more tomorrow. Don't make your decision tonight, okay? Did the Lake County warning expire? Yes. Lake County in the all clear. Geauga, you're in the all clear. Cuyahoga's in the all clear. Summit County, you're in the all clear for severe weather, okay? You're in the all clear for severe weather. Deerfield, Southern Portage, you're under a severe thunderstorm warning. But the worst of you is moving by right now. The worst of it is moving by. There's a YouTube comment. Thank you very much, Diva D. Appreciate that. What about Orwell? Got an uncle that... Orwell, you mean, Jared? Orwell's good. They're out of the woods. Thank you very much for that comment. Have a wonderful 4th to all of you. Rain starting in Canton, really cooled off. It's probably still muggy, though. Grafton, you're out of the woods. Grafton's all good. Boom. Okay. So a couple more minutes of this, and then, the sun has set, so these storms are going to start to lose some intensity as they slide off to the east southeast. They're still doing pretty well. And this is what we were concerned about. Once we saw them start to pop, then it's game on. And this is the way it's going to be tomorrow as well. We may not be able to tell you when storms are going to form until we actually start to see them form, and then we'll be able to take off with you. Okay, a couple of new comments. Is Andover in the clear? I think Andover, yeah, it's moved into Linesville. You're good. You're good in Andover. Still got some rain and thunder. So quite an event tonight. Didn't know if we'd see it. Our computer models were not. Most of them were not showing this. There was one that was, and that's the one I think I'll use tonight on the air. I'll use that one on the air. I'm texting the Guardians. So again, tomorrow we have a heat advisory until 8 p.m. It's still going to be very, very warm and muggy. Okay, very warm and muggy. All right, folks, this has been tremendous. We have had thousands of you tuning in, and this is great. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm grateful. Now tonight at 11 p.m., hopefully we'll get started on time. If not, it'll be a little later. We'll give you the latest on what we know about your Saturday and Sunday. Please stay alert and stay connected with each and every one. Please stay connected with us. Phone, have a way to get warnings. If there's something serious going on, I'll try and get back on this feed tomorrow, probably from my home or my patio eating a burger, but we'll do our best to try and get you some important information so that you stay safe, because the 4th of July, a lot of you aren't paying attention. A lot of your family, your kids aren't paying attention, and these kind of storms can come up on you very quickly. So stay alert, stay connected. Grateful for each and every one of you. We did over 2.5 hours of live coverage today for these severe thunderstorms. Hopefully not too much damage, or hopefully no damage where you are. Don't forget to send me pics. Leave me permission as to whether I can use those pics and share them on social media, even on TV. Okay? Would love to do that. So thank you all. Thanks for being here. Thanks for your dedication. Thanks for watching. We'll see you at 11 o'clock. Happy 4th.